I just need to bite the bullet and do a trigger mashup AMV to that fucking track.
Yeah.
That would be hype.
Mm-hmm. Super hype.
Welcome to the show.
What it is, folks.
I'm Scott.
I'm Trey.
And I'm Phil.
Well,
if God wasn't mad before,
he sure
God definitely mad now.
God would not approve of this film
at all. At all.
Today we're talking about Mad God.
We are.
The Phil Tippett
showcase.
Long showcase.
30-year movie. Yeah,
Yes.
exactly. Yeah. I would almost call this mixed media with the way it's put together. You know?
It's a
It's all
visual
sorts of
art
shit.
piece.
That's really what it is.
If you like Tool videos,
For
right.
real,
Oh,
yeah.
you're going to love this.
yes.
The Brothers Quay.
Uh-huh.
Yep.
Yeah, totally.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so
we'll get to that.
What have you guys been doing this week?
I got a Switch.
Hey!
Yeah.
Welcome to the family.
Yeah, that's right. Now I'm going to be invested when we watch Nintendo stuff.
That's right. Exactly. Finally, someone else.
yes. You can do all of the farming, bro.
I know.
So much farming.
I really there still aren't a bunch of games that I want for it, but there's a handful of them that I think are worth it, and I'm totally gonna get that Advance Wars. When it comes out.
Absolutely.
Yeah, that Advance Wars looks
like
fucking pristine.
strategy,
Totally.
tactical,
Triangle strategy.
Yes,
well, tactical strategy, RPGs. You know,
dude, the Switch is.
platformers. I mean, that,
Well, Switch is specifically, it's an RPG machine.
it really is.
It's an RPG machine. I have never
or JRPG specifically.
JRPG specifically. Yeah, if you're into that shit, then you kind of need to have a Switch.
And then there are a lot of little hidden jewels. Like when I had my Switch, like there was a lot of things on the eShop that I was really into. Now some of these things were mobile and ported to the Switch, to actually use that screen.
Like Sushi Strikers.
Dude, like Voez, dude. Voez
Yeah.
was my shit. Like, and I miss Voez. And I guess I could get it on my phone. But it was, I mean, those kind of games, like rhythm games. You know, there are a lot of really creative games on the Switch.
I liked Bloodstained. That
Right,
seems like the
yes.
perfect kind of game for the Switch.
And then that's another thing, right?
need to-
Like, even games that are multi-platform, just having them in a portable format like that can sometimes change this.
Absolutely.
Nice.
Yeah. I mean, like, that's the thing. It's like, that's the gimmick of the Switch.
Right.
And that's what I've always been saying is just like, if you buy into the gimmick, man, Switch is going to be one of your, it may not be your favorite console, but it's going to be one of them.
If you like to game on the shitter, or you like to game on the road,
outside, or if you got, like, you know, you got to be in a fucking waiting room for a while.
right,
Like,
or an
it's
airplane. I'm telling you, man, flying to California, that was me in Super Mario Odyssey.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, dude.
Totally.
I'm just like, I'm gonna be on this plane for a long time, so.
Well, he
charge
let
up
me
my
borrow
Switch.
Odyssey, so we'll try it out.
That's great.
And I guess Iana could be the hat.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
that's awesome.
Cappy.
Yeah, Cappy.
Happy.
Yeah.
Love it.
That's good. And then it's one of those games, man, where after you finish it, it opens up like all these challenge stages.
Oh, cool.
That are hype, man.
Yeah.
I mean, they're difficult, but they're a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Did a lot of
I,
good with that game. But yeah.
I was trying to hack the Switch, but as I was telling you guys,
Nintendo was like, God, man, we liked you for a second.
I know.
You know, for 1 second,
the
you're
whole
saying
reason
all
I
this
got it.
positive stuff about us. And then,
I should be able to do what I want with my hardware.
Yes,
I purchased
absolutely.
it legitimately. I should be able to do whatever the fuck I want.
Nintendo said no.
That's right, they do. They love it. They're gonna put the ban hammer on us.
That's right.
I'm not gonna show you how to do it.
There you go.
Okay.
Any chances for Nintendo sponsorship?
Well, you
Well,
couldn't show
I
them how to
couldn't
do
because they shut me down before I even
That's
got
right.
to. They preemptively fucked my plan up because they
wow.
knew. They knew. Huh?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
So because basically switches after a certain model, you just can't
You just
hack
can't
the
do it,
firmware.
yeah.
So
Or they haven't figured out how to hack the firmware.
Right, but I'm gonna keep updating it, so that's the problem.
Sitting over here
Yeah.
just like working through angles, like, ooh, how do we get around this?
How
I'm sure
do-
there's a way to.
I looked for a while, and it doesn't look like there is one right now. So, but
yeah.
I'll keep watching. I know that.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's an angle here.
Yeah, but so far so good. I like it. I had to get another Joy-Con because like the L1 wasn't working on the left one. And that's cool that they sell them separately. You know.
Yeah, they do that now.
Uh-huh.
You know, back before all the Joy-Con drift controversy started stirring up, you had to buy two. That's why I have like 5 of them.
Uh-huh.
You know, like,
Yeah, and they're not cheap, man. It's like it's the same way for that Pro controller.
Yeah.
Definitely get that. Is that
The Pro?
controller?
Yes,
Yeah.
get a
It's
Pro.
very, very good.
Okay. Yeah.
And it does kind of change the game. Do you plan to play it docked more or actually undocked?
I don't know, man. I mean, I could see myself playing certain things docked, like Zelda, you know. But most of the other stuff, it seems like I'll be using it more as a portable handheld.
Well,
Right.
with Zelda, you know, specifically, playing undocked does come with some benefits.
you get
know?
that aiming.
Exactly.
Does
You
the
get
Pro
the
controller
aiming,
not
you
have?
get well, you have gyroscopes in the Pro controller as
Yeah.
well. Yeah, so as long as you have that, you're good to go.
yeah, just remember with
but
those
then-
puzzles, turn it upside down.
That's
I
what
know
I
about
did.
that one.
Just
Yeah.
pop that ball up and flip
Yep.
that
Onto
bitch.
the flat
right.
side.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude. When I
then
first
roll
figured
it
that out, I
over.
was like, "Are you serious? right
Yeah.
now? Like this?"
And they let you, it's
okay.
legitimate.
Yeah.
It's legit.
That's how you speedrun it.
That's
Yeah.
right.
Fuck a maze.
Yeah, we ain't doing that.
Yeah, because I was trying to play it on the play Breath of the Wild on the Wii U emulator on PC, you know, and I didn't have any gyro input, so you had to map the gyro input to the mouse.
Weird.
It was a nightmare.
Yeah.
Yeah. I could almost get it to work doing what you guys are talking about, though.
Yeah.
But
Right.
I think one of the axes was inverted, and I couldn't figure out how to actually set it up right.
Yeah.
So it was like one of them would work the right way, and then the other one would completely flip it on me. I just had to, break my
sounds-
brain and make it work.
Sounds like a nightmare.
Yeah. But I don't know. I've been playing a little bit of Zelda, and I got Nintendo Online, the base one, the $20 one.
I told you all you wanted to do was play Win Back.
Just win back. No, I don't
Yeah.
even have the 64 library because
Right.
I didn't get the expansion to
Ooh.
online.
And you don't have a Switch.
Oh. I'm thinking about it. What is it, like 15 more bucks or something?
I don't know how
It's
much.
40 a year.
Okay, so it'd be another 20.
Be
on
another
top of-
20.
Man, I don't
Yeah.
know about that. Not for
You
N64.
pretty much
For
doubling.
N64?
Fucking
For
64. yeah.
N64, Sega Genesis,
Yeah.
plus all the like DLC and shit that they give you for free.
Yeah,
that ain't no.
I mean,
you
it
know,
just
the
depends.
base
emulate
one's
all
fine.
of that.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah. And I mean, I know I could also do it with the NES and the SNES, but to be honest, I will continue to pay money for Super Ghouls and Ghosts.
Right.
That's
Yeah,
Yeah,
there you
that's
go.
damn.
that's a personal fault.
Yeah.
I think. You know.
Yeah.
I mean, you've already dropped like how
Oh
much
my
on
God.
it already?
I don't know. I've had so many copies of that fucking game. I can't even. And I've played through it innumerable times. It just, man. Yeah. So what about you, Scott? Been glitching the abyss.
Been glitching the abyss,
Oh,
man. Okay,
wait,
so,
really?
So, yeah, still playing Binary Stars Fallen into Darkness. It is a bug-y game. It's
There we
real
go.
buggy.
Yeah.
It's there'll be times where like the negative, like you'll have a tree, okay, and then you'll walk up to the tree, and then all of a sudden it'll like the tree will still be there, but like the negative, like the asset part of it will just kind of glitch out of it, and so you'll have like a tree and like a landscape just kind of diagonal, like just sitting there.
Nice.
Okay.
And then there's a couple other like spots where it's like almost like the assets weren't coded correctly, so they'll just be like in the environment, just kind of free floating.
Oh yeah.
Off the,
That's a
stuff like
Bethesda move.
that's
there.
a Bethesda. It's a Bethesda thing. But there is one game-breaking bug, and I think it's a bug. I don't think it's we intended
It's a
to
feature.
do that. Yeah, we intended to do this so you would stay in this level. So I'm on the second layer, and in the inverted forest, you have a lot of spots where you can attach a rope and rappel down
Descend.
and then ascend and descend.
Why,
Man, the
why are
ropes,
you ascending? That
Yeah.
sounds
Well,
terrifying.
because-
Don't do it.
yeah.
okay, so you go back to Orth.
Uh-huh.
To
You better walk up slow.
You have to.
Oh, wow.
Eventually, like the curse will like just get to you, and you just have to stop.
Right.
So I'm in the inverted forest, and I'm just kind of running around. This is like first time there, and I start running out of food and weapons, and I'm like, oh shit, I need to go back to Orth and restock and like sell all this shit and like get some, that was the gameplay loop. You go into the abyss, you cave raid, then you go back, restock, and then go back into the abyss.
I mean, we saw this when we were watching the first season. We were like, "This is a survival game."
Oh, yeah,
absolutely.
totally.
Yeah, it's absolutely it was pretty much a game document in anime form.
Yep.
Like in the inverted forest, when I realized I needed to go back up, I would climb up the rope, have plenty of stamina, and be totally fine, except for these stupid fucking butterflies that just come out of nowhere every single time you're climbing, and you'll get like 5 of them on you at one time, and it's like fuck.
Yeah, they gotta fuck on you.
But I'll get right up to the edge of where I can get onto the platform, and my dude just lets go. And I just fall.
So it's not. Is it due to a lack of stamina?
No.
You just,
No, plenty of stamina. Should have been able, like, I'm angled in the correct way to just lift up, and it'll just be like, nope,
Dude, fuck that. Absolutely fuck that.
dead Echo.
Oh,
Makes me
that
sad.
sucks.
So it's like, so the way I'm gonna have to play the second layer, it's kind of game breaking, honestly. Is if I did it like 6 times just last night, and this isn't the first time I've tried to do
And you
this.
stream this, right?
Yes.
Okay, I thought
yeah,
so.
It's
Love
on
it.
my stream. It's on my stream. I wish I had the mic on because
yeah.
you could hear me just cursing up. No.
But you have evidence, though.
Yeah, but I have evidence that this is a thing that happens. By the way, check out my stream.
Yeah.
How does
check
the
that stream.
save system work?
Well, okay. So you have points in like hub areas that you can go to. It's like a little journal that you write in. That's save, and the balloons are saves.
Okay.
Are saves that you can have while you're in the abyss.
Got ya.
Okay, but the way I'm gonna have
Are
to
they limited?
the balloons are.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah,
I thought
the
so.
balloons are. You have to actually craft those.
Oh, gotcha.
Or I
Okay.
mean, you can buy
Yeah.
them, but fuck it, you find plenty of stuff. As long as you have 2 broken balloons, you can make one that works.
Yeah.
But so the way I'm gonna have to tackle the second layer is literally go into the abyss with nothing but weapons, foods, and a few like healing items.
Right.
And not excavate, not gather anything, and just kind of run past as many creatures as I possibly can to not have to fight them, and only fight the ones that they like, because it's a boss battle. You know, they cut you off, and then you have to kill certain things. Only fight that stuff, and then literally explore the entire second layer so I can get to the third layer, so I'll be able to fast travel to the start of the second layer so I can get the fuck out of there. So that's how I'm going to have to tackle this.
Are you having fun?
I am.
Okay.
I am.
Right.
I am. Look. Anybody, look, but I'm having fun because I love Made in Abyss.
I know.
And I know that's the case. Because anybody else playing this game, they would have dropped it immediately. They would have dropped it immediately. But I like the original story that they're going through, and that's why I'm like, okay, this is how I have to do this in order for me to progress, because I want my girl to be a white whistle, goddammit.
I can't wait for you to finish it, because I really want to know the story itself, and I want to know if they truly deliver, because we all know what it takes to get a white whistle, right? We all understand that, and we understand the severity of it. I want to know how this game handles that.
Yeah. You know? That's kind of what's pushing me.
Hope you don't like your friends too much.
I'm saying, right? Or I hope your friends love you.
Right.
You know.
But so yeah, I've been doing that. Finally watched Edge Runner.
Woo!
Oh yeah, totally.
Fucking great.
Isn't it fucking lit?
It's so good.
Oh my
It's
god.
so good. It's like I think I sent you both the text. It's just like, you know how we're all constantly lamenting, they don't make anime like they used to anymore. Here you go.
Yeah.
It's
Yes.
It's just as violent. It's just as horny.
Uh-huh.
But that's all Imaishi right there, man. That is all. That dude has
also
been
the
waiting.
cyberpunk world is real horny.
Right.
So
It's
it,
super
but
horny.
dude,
It's very
that dude,
sexual.
This dude, Imaishi, has been waiting for a Netflix show.
Yeah.
You know, because I mean, the time from start to tits is like 5 minutes.
Yes.
You know.
Well, but that's also cyberpunk. You know,
yeah.
Like, I mean, that's huge. Like, one of their the biggest posters that they had to mix it up is the sexy girl with a big dick.
Oh,
You
yeah.
know, like,
wow.
yeah. You know,
Damn.
like, that's what they do in Night City.
Right.
It's like all red light zone.
Every
Every
red
bit
light
of it is red light district.
Absolutely. That's why they call it Night City.
They do.
But caught up on that. Netflix has actually gotten a good handful of decent anime that I've been wanting to watch. Vinland Saga. Started watching that. I'm not very far in it, but Anime
Vinland
Vikings
Saga looks cool. Yeah.
Yeah. It's probably like. Don't mean to parrot, but I see now what people were saying as this is what Berserk 2016 should have been.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's obviously it's not Berserk.
Yeah.
But I think they're more talking about the way the visuals.
Oh.
Yeah. You know,
so it's 3D.
Kind of. A lot of the action scenes are.
Okay.
It's probably one of the better combinations of 2D and 3D that I've seen.
Yeah.
Because the 3D doesn't look jerky.
Okay. Yeah.
You know, so it's just very smooth. But yeah, man, that's it for me. Yeah, Trey.
Bet. What has I been doing? Let's see. I was watching Edge Runner. Edge Runners as well. Super hype on it. So hype to the fact that it just made me reinstall Cyberpunk. I was like, you know what?
For 100 and how many gigs?
Oh, geez, I think it's in like 140 gig. You know, like yeah, it's ridiculous. And so, but yeah, you know, I picked up that game at launch, and you know, I played it on PS5.
Yeah.
And I mean, it's fun enough.
How far'd you get?
I only played for maybe about 5 hours, 5 or 6 hours.
Got you.
Because I actually,
So did
I
you get
was
out of
gonna
the
start
first
over.
town then? The little.
No, I'm a street kid.
Yeah.
And so
you were
I'm just in Night City, and
Oh.
right. I didn't start off in the wilderness or the corporate towers or anything. I'm in the heart
I
of the
started
city,
out
baby.
in the wilderness. So
Oh, really?
That's
You
the
were
way.
an Outlander or whatever the fuck
I
it
guess
is.
that's it. Yeah.
Whatever
sure.
it is, yeah, sure. But, yeah. No, my life path is from the streets, baby.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? From the hood.
Yeah.
And so, so I'm all just
Well, so
already
how do you
in
meet
Night
Jackie?
City. We were in a bar. Yeah,
Okay.
just hanging out in the bar, man. I met this motherfucker. He's
Yeah.
like, yeah, buy you a drink, boy. And so we have a conversation. Then he introduces me to Dax. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
It was Dex. It's Dex.
Dex.
That's the one that looked like Rick Ross.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
He's got his gold gleaming. dude.
Yeah,
yeah.
boy. I got
Yeah,
some shades on all the time, boy. Ross. I'm a boss. And
I
so,
like that guy.
yeah, I do too. I
Yeah.
do too. This chick tried to get me to betray him. And I'm just like,
Yeah, I can't remember her name. She's awesome
yeah,
too.
because she was like, just work for me, man. Don't work for him. You
Yeah.
know, that kind of shit.
Uh-huh.
But I did. I planned on starting over completely. And then I was like, man, let me just load my previous save and see where I was at.
Right.
You know, and I was 5 hours in, and I was like, this is interesting immediately. You know, and I'm like, I skip all the fluff, and I can catch up
And
on
doesn't it
how
feel
everything
way better
works.
now?
It does. It does. I mean, it just needed time to bake in the
Yep.
sun.
Yeah.
You know, that's the thing. It's like,
So you didn't play the 1.0 or the 1.5 patch. You just played the 1.6 patch, the
right?
newest one.
Yes, the newest
Okay,
one.
because even the 1.5 patch did amazing job with like making it smooth,
Cleaning
and making
everything up.
making the
Yeah.
crowds work better,
Yeah.
making the all that shit. So.
Absolutely. Yeah, it feels really good. It's funny because I really only give myself like the time for one open world game a year. You know,
Understandable.
Because, well, the problem is also me
Yeah.
Right.
because I'm really thorough and I
Uh-huh.
love exploration.
Right.
Yeah.
You know, and so especially
You're
if
gonna
you
go
got-
get everything.
I am,
Yeah.
dude. I'm gonna go by the dumpsters, be like, oh, here's some cards. I don't know. You know, and
What
so,
do I need cards for?
dude,
to
you
put
know what
in
I'm
my
saying?
pocket.
And yeah, and let me see some Maelstrom. You know what I'm saying? Because
Oh,
I hate
yeah.
those fuckers, right? So if I just see them chilling, we got problems.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I'm on my way somewhere specifically. I'm like, let me pull his whip over real quick.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Go
Do the
handle
cops
this.
still act weird?
The cops still act weird. Yes. Well,
Fuck,
what do you mean
dude.
by that? What do you mean?
Like that
Mechanically?
sometimes just getting around them causes a problem.
Well, yeah, because they're always scoping you. You know what I'm saying? They're always scoping you out, but all you got to do is kind of just stay away from them. You know, and
Yeah,
it's
but,
fine.
like-
but you got beef with almost every other faction. It
Dude.
doesn't matter. Everybody hates you.
Everybody hates
Everybody
you.
hates
It
you,
doesn't
right?
matter who you step into. They're like, oh, we're gonna stop kicking the shit out of this guy,
Right.
and now focus fire
Yeah,
on
and,
you.
and I do a lot of the cops' missions. You know what I'm saying?
Oh,
'Cause
yeah.
it's always just like, just go over here and wax these dudes, and I'm like, bet.
yeah,
You know,
but,
like,
but do
let me
the
get that
cops
money.
still try to
Right.
attack you?
You know,
Or have you
well,
built up enough?
Nah, they don't like me.
They just
They don't like me.
Can
They
you?
usually don't. They usually don't attack you.
Yeah.
Unless you like draw down on them, if you have a weapon drawn, whatever. But they will stare at you, and you know you'll have that timer. And so now, if you mug them,
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying. That's the thing. Just don't mug them. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying. And
yeah.
then they won't really have a problem.
What about the
Right.
Edge Runners content? Have you had a chance to touch any of that yet?
No, not really, because this game is absolutely massive, and so there's
Yeah.
just a lot. There's a lot to do. There's a lot to be done. I've spent a lot of time like jamming out to them tunes. This game
Hell
has
yeah.
phenomenal music.
It does. It really
has
does, man.
really,
Yeah.
really
and there's
great music.
the Run the Jewels track, which is still funny.
Yeah,
Nice.
there's
Yeah.
RTJ on there. You got some Grimes. Grimes has a
Oh,
few
yeah.
different
Yeah, totally.
tracks.
Uh-huh.
You know, and so I'm at a point where I was gonna play Grand Theft Auto 5 again. You know, and this is totally scratching that itch for me.
Oh, yeah.
You know,
Nice.
it's unfortunate that you can't keep the cars that you steal, but outside of that, I mean, it's still just super dope. It's still a
Yeah.
lot of fun. I mean, I did, man. I was sitting there playing
But the way
this
you
game.
can summon your car is dope.
Oh yeah, and it
Yeah.
will hit
You
you
can
if you're not
summon a
careful.
car.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude.
Wow.
It just spawns in, and I mean, but I've got footage of that shit glitching out. 'Cause
Uh-huh.
sometimes it'll spawn in behind a barrier and keep trying to get to you until that motherfucker explodes, and then it's just like, well, there goes my car. You know, yeah.
good.
Thanks, Kit. Didn't quite work the way I planned for it to. But I did. I was sitting there playing it with a little bit of trepidation, and I did, man. There came a point where I was just like, God damn it, I fucking love this game. And it happened. I was just sitting there laughing at myself. I'm like,
Yeah.
God damn it, because I never hated Cyberpunk.
Yeah, me neither.
You
know,
yeah,
it just- I
yeah.
mean,
you
it
saw the
was-
flaws when it first came out, though, and you
Right.
were like, oh, let's let it bake.
Yeah,
Let's
right.
just-
Let it bake in the sun.
Yeah.
And then, I mean, what they did, this was my biggest problem, what they did to previous generation gamers.
Right.
yeah.
I felt like they got shat on completely.
Oh, yeah.
And so as a business practice, I thought that it was just lame. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Like CD Projekt Red, you knew better, and
They're
don't,
trying to
you
be too
cannot,
ambitious,
You
man.
cannot convince me that you didn't know that was broken. You
Really?
can't convince me. I know that you knew
No,
it.
they knew
You
it.
just expected more people to have next generation consoles, and we didn't expect a pandemic, right? And so
Right.
it just ended up like it ended up. But as a piece of digital art, I can even say I love it. The writing's great, man. Like the all the little blurbs and little bits of conversation that you find, because there's a lot of reading,
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Most of your a lot of your story is going to come from just finding data discs that you can read up on different things in Night City, but they're all very well written. Sometimes I'll scroll through
They
and I'm
are
like,
actually
this is
well
kind of
written.
long.
It almost reminds me of like Mass Effect.
Absolutely.
With the way, because again, we've talked about this. I'm not trying to read a game.
Right. Yes.
But those data discs, when they're well written, I'm just
Dude.
like, okay, you got me. I'll actually sit here and read
talking
this.
about some interesting shit.
Right,
You know what I'm saying? I'm like, damn it, man,
Yeah.
that was actually good. And so I find myself spending a lot of time just like filling in the blanks of what Night City actually is. You know what I'm saying? And
I like the
how we
voice
got to
acting
where
in
we
that
are.
game a lot.
Oh, it's killer.
I feel like that helps a lot with the getting into the character and feeling it.
Yeah, and then what they do with the brain dances, how you can navigate through them and like rewind them, and
super cool.
Yeah.
What was that game? Remember Me? Do you remember Remember Me? It was a Capcom
I remember
action
hearing
game
about it. Yeah.
where there's this whole mechanic where I think you're an assassin or something, and you're trying to
You can mind hack people.
You can
or
mind
something,
hack people, and
I
then
never played it.
there's a very similar mechanic to that.
Really?
But this is way better. This is a way more fleshed out version that's actually kind of fun. Like the
Right.
other one felt very handholdy and very I don't know. It seems like you get a bit of exploration with this.
Right.
With Cyberpunk, it almost reminds me of some of the Arkham clue finding, that kind of stuff.
Exactly. And it's really interesting the way those things work, because they'll actually put you in the brain dance as one of the characters, and so you're sitting there in first person, going through this person's situation, whatever. Next thing you know, you get clapped. And you're just like, whoa, what the fuck? And then actually deducing what exactly happened.
This is their last vision.
Right. And then there are people who are taking those and then they're making money off of it. You know what I'm saying? And so I actually found Goosey.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, what up, Art? But you end up finding, I found this father and son that were they're basically making snuff films. You know what I'm saying? They were taking these brain dances and editing them down and making them just like as grimy as possible.
So kind of like what the one dude's doing in Edge Runner.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
Kinda
So I
same
rolled up
thing.
on them, and they're just sitting there like talking to each other. But of course, they have their headsets on. They're just talking to one another about it. And I walked up, and I'm just like, clap. But then I felt bad about it. You know what I'm saying? And I did. I shot the. Wait, no. The first time I didn't shoot them immediately. No, I shot them, then I reloaded, and then I woke them up. I said, "Wakey, boys!" And they're like, "Well, we're just making entertainment. All this shit. This is just what people want.
So
we're not actually.
Tried it?
We're not actually. Yeah. Because I wanted to see what they would say. The first time, because I made a mess of that room.
Yeah.
It was great.
Wow.
I'm loving the shotguns in that game.
Yeah, dude. Oh,
they're
yeah,
great.
seriously.
They feel
100%.
good.
I like the melee weapons.
Oh
too,
yes,
actually.
absolutely. All the guns are great, man. Which is I didn't expect that.
But you're playing 60.
Yes, playing performance.
The 30
Playing
mode
60
does
with
not feel good,
HDR.
dude.
Just make sure you turn on HDR. Oh, 30's trash.
30's trash.
But I got them up, and they're just like, we're just doing this shit, whatever. And then you find on one of their computers, it's just like, virgin assaulted by 30 men. Like all this
There
shit
you
that
go.
they're doing,
And
and
you're
I'm just like.
Back to plan A.
And so just greased them. But
That's good,
all
man.
that to say, man, for all of you who have put Cyberpunk on the shelf, for all of you who say like, that game is trash, whatever, I beseech you to give it a shot. Now. It's cleaned all the way up. There's still some glitches, don't get me wrong. Nothing game breaking, but it's a wild fucking ride, man.
Hell yeah.
And here's one thing that you're not going to want to hear, Scott. I could totally see, now I don't want them to do it because I'm scared. I could totally see this game working for PSVR 2.
Oh, yeah.
I think that Cyberpunk would be phenomenal in virtual reality.
Why wouldn't I want
I've
to hear
seen
that?
mods.
Because I
I've
know you don't like
definitely seen
VR
mods.
as much. Well, I guess with
I
PSVR
don't
2,
care.
we're
I
making
don't plan on
strides.
playing
He's
Cyberpunk.
getting there.
I
He's
know,
Yeah.
working on them. You know what I'm saying? Working at Hoodoo.
You just gotta give me more games that I actually want to play.
Dude, Cyberpunk would be so good in a VR
And
space.
I don't really care to play Cyberpunk.
Oh,
Yeah.
God, you should.
Sorry,
you should
man.
Probably,
Hey, just make more. Just make more seasons of the anime. That's all the Cyberpunk I need in my life.
Dude, I stopped watching the anime because I got into the game, and now I'm just like, I want to watch it, but if I'm gonna watch Edge Runners, I might as well just play Cyberpunk.
Yep.
Yeah.
And I want to finish
I am-
Cyberpunk and then go back to Edge Runners because I want all of my Easter eggs.
So
you
I
know?
am wondering how many Easter eggs.
Oh,
that
no,
there
it-
are.
it's
they filled
constant.
it up.
It's
They
constant.
filled it up.
Yeah,
They
yeah,
did.
yeah.
They
Oh,
went
I
back
can
and
tell
added all
immediately.
sorts of
Okay.
shit and armor sets and weapons.
Well, I mean,
Yeah.
like,
and
how
all this
many
stuff.
are like present in the
From
anime?
In
They're-
the
they're-
anime,
they're
no,
all-
You know what I mean?
it's constant.
Dude,
Okay.
And
they're
it's like
talking
you
about
see
if
it.
you see a spot in the anime,
Uh-huh.
you can find that place in the game and
Absolutely.
go hang out there.
Yes.
For the most part. For the most part, you know, of course,
Right.
there's
Because-
like, Edge
exceptions.
So
Runners
that
is almost like-
wall where all the dudes have the fucking cans on their
Oh,
dicks.
Oh yeah, yeah, man. Because it does. It like Edge Runners kind of feels like watching a streamer
Yeah.
play Cyberpunk. You know what I'm
Okay.
saying? It's
Okay.
like okay,
Hell yeah.
here's somebody's path. Here's what they're doing.
Yeah.
When I started playing the game, I'm sitting here like, God damn it! Like it's so
Uh-huh.
1-to-1 that it's kind of like I don't feel like I have to
And
watch
I could
Edge
see
Runners right
playing
now.
this game multiple times too, just
Yeah.
to see
Oh, yeah.
how shit goes. You know, the
Right.
Different
Well, I don't
starting
think-
paths.
I don't think
how would a corpo be
It
like?
doesn't matter.
Neither of us wanted to be corpo though. I know.
Right?
That.
Oh hell!
I don't
no.
think the starting does matter.
No,
at
it
all.
doesn't matter. The life
Yeah.
paths don't mean shit. It just
Yeah.
means where you start, and it's just a few bits of dialogue at
Yeah.
the front,
Yeah.
and then it's all the
Uh-huh.
same.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so,
I got you.
Well,
but all of that leading us into our first topic. Cyberpunk is back.
A bunch of people are in your shoes right now.
Yeah.
Yep.
You know.
Which makes sense.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
The game
that was
finally
the
works.
point.
There's a whole bunch
That
of
was, that was the point.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. The whole point of Edge Runners, like I think they've been sitting on this one. And they're just like, okay, when the game's in a good state, we're
Uh-huh.
gonna drop this,
Uh-huh.
and this is gonna be our best marketing push.
Yeah, because a bunch of people are gonna pick it up and then go, "Oh, why was everybody complaining about this game?"
Exactly. Because it's just the same as with The Last of Us 2. You know, a lot of people vocalized a lot of their opinions that they didn't formulate themselves.
Yeah.
You know, like the internet told them what to think, and they're like, okay, well, we're just going to do that. And people just go that
Because there's
direction.
legitimate criticism about that game,
Right. Yeah.
but most people weren't saying that.
Exactly. Exactly. They're just saying they're miming the same thing that they've heard and seen before. Cyberpunk was one of those games as well. Now the difference is a lot of people bought Cyberpunk.
A lot of people,
Day
and they
one.
got a broken game.
And they got a
Yeah.
broken game. Mm-hmm. And
Because
so
that's the thing that we have to remember. Cyberpunk was broken.
oh,
at
it was
launch.
Yeah.
super broken.
It was super
It was super broken. And
On PC and on PS5 and Series, I think you
Uh-huh.
had the best bet of having a decent game.
Right.
But,
But
it was still fucking.
it was
broken.
still
still
bored,
broke.
but
Yeah.
I mean, nothing like the last gen ones.
Mhm.
And it's like it's weird, man, because I've had that thing on my shelf this entire time, and I've thought about selling it many a time.
Many times,
But I'm
I
like,
almost sold
one
it.
day.
I almost traded it in, or got a refund on it because I got it from Amazon.
Yeah, right.
And
I
they
was
were,
offered the refund.
I
Yeah,
thought
and I
about
thought
it,
about it
man.
too, man. And I was just like, you know what? I'm just gonna sit on it
Uh-huh.
because one day that might actually be worth a damn, and that day is today. So I mean, even on, and this is just PC metrics.
Yeah.
You know, the game was hovering at like 10,000 concurrent players.
Yeah.
Now over the past 5 days, and this is like maybe a couple of days ago, so who knows what it is today?
Right.
It was up to like 85,000, right? Concurrent. And so a lot of people
Shit.
are getting into Night City now,
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
and
And it's finally
good
worth getting
for 'em.
into.
Right.
Yeah. Mhm.
Right,
Go
man.
have fun.
Yeah.
I was gonna let Scott borrow it, and then I was like, "Oh, you got a base PS4, dude."
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
It's
yeah,
yeah.
you don't want that.
No,
Yeah, it's gonna be. It's just gonna chug.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I mean, your only
Chug a
option
lug,
is
chug a
30 on
lug.
that. So
That's
I mean,
it.
it's just gonna be, because God, that 30 is rough.
Rough.
With like slideshow,
Uh-huh.
you know.
Well, because it's not 30. It's
Right.
like usually hovers around 20.
20?
It dips below 20 once in a while, but it's
Yes.
like
Woof.
20, 22,
Yeah.
somewhere in there.
And then just having
Yeah.
those shinies is not worth it because
It's not.
honestly, in
Did you look
performance
at it?
mode, yes, I looked at it.
It's beautiful.
It's great for screenshots,
But
you know,
when you're playing the game,
it's still
it doesn't matter that much.
game is still absolutely
is.
gorgeous.
The reflections
even
are,
without
are,
RT,
are nice though. The
Yes.
reflections are very nice. If
Right.
only you could get it like playing this game 60 at least 1440p with full on reflections on a PC
Right.
would be amazing.
You know,
right?
my PC
But-
would actually run it.
Yeah,
You know,
but you'd have to buy it again.
yeah, that'd be the problem.
Are they doing sales right now because of this whole thing?
That's a possibility.
Because that'd be smart for them, dude.
It
You
would.
know, sell the shit for $30.
I think it is on sale right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know it is on the. There's a big PlayStation sale right now.
Okay.
Yeah.
75% off and shit.
Yeah. Whoa,
I know
yeah.
it's on sale
Uh-huh.
there.
Yeah.
Is that where the that's where they had the Sackboy on sale?
Uh-huh.
this past
Yeah,
week?
Sackboy's on sale
Did
for
you get
$25
Sackboy?
right now.
Yes.
So okay, so you got Sackboy. Did Robbie
Boy,
get Sackboy?
he said he was going to, but he didn't do it.
Get that
And so,
Sackboy.
but I
Need
think
to
the
get
sale
Sackboy.
goes on till the 28th or the 29th.
Yeah. Okay.
So there's a little bit of time, but not a lot.
Mhm.
And Sackboy's so worth it, man. Like that's
Hell yeah.
that's a good time. That's a really good
Yeah.
time. And so, but yeah, Cyberpunk's back. Everybody jump on in. The water is fine.
Yeah, look at this Edge Runner's
And then
coat.
I can't
I
wait
love
to
it.
see. Oh wait, I do have that coat.
You got that coat?
Yeah, I got that coat.
It's fresh.
Uh-huh. It is a fresh ass coat.
I want a
And it's
cyber
got- and
collar.
it's got- Yeah, it's got.
I just hope
lights
they
on
put
the outside
Rebecca
of
in
it,
the
too.
game.
They put who?
Rebecca.
Rebecca,
Oh,
probably,
see,
maybe.
I haven't seen that.
I don't
You
know
know
if
what I
she's
mean?
in there
The
or
show
not.
yet.
Man, I hope they do.
Yeah.
She's
Yeah.
too fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, they
You talking
might,
about
because
the
this
little
is
one
a-
that puts the gun on him.
Yeah, the little
so-
Harley Quinn motherfucker.
yeah.
I love her.
Well, I mean,
Yeah,
I mean, they may put those characters. I don't expect them to, you know, because
okay.
they kind of don't have to. Like they're,
Yeah.
they probably won't. But
Yeah, I mean,
won't
there-
tell
but there
tell
are
you my
s-
reasons why if you haven't finished.
but
it.
there's so many
Yeah, don't.
characters, man.
Because I haven't seen any of it yet.
There's so many characters. Like it's fucking nuts.
You'll like Rebecca. Rebecca's
absolutely.
chef's kiss.
God, dude, this is all I want to. I was thinking about going to Furnace Fest tomorrow. Lagwagon's
Oh,
playing.
yeah.
Like,
Man,
Oh,
hey,
shit.
dude, Norma Jean's there tonight.
Oh, really?
have you not looked at the lineup?
If you haven't looked at the
Oh my
haven't
yeah,
looked
God.
at
for
it.
people in
Strung
the
Out was
Birmingham
here.
area, if you have a chance to go to Furnace Fest, like you might want to check
They're
it
they're
out.
killing
I
it.
wanna
Yeah.
go.
Yeah.
Strung Out was there
I
last
really-
night.
Yeah.
Which
Dude, I wanted to
blows
go
my
last
mind.
The red
so
cord's gonna be
bad,
there.
Dude. That's like a
Fucking
part of my
Acacia
fucking
Strain.
childhood.
We got
Periphery's gonna be there.
Periphery.
Mastodon.
Oh, fuck.
Fucking
In Flames.
my God,
Oh,
dude.
is there tomorrow.
Right, uh-huh.
Tomorrow's a huge day, man.
stop it.
Yep.
Lagwagon's
Can't
sick
spend
of it
that
all.
money.
The Descendants.
Yeah.
fuck
Uh-huh.
Anti-Flag was on Friday. Like, bro,
Yeah.
and
It's-
nobody's
it's
been
a
talking
stupid
about
lineup,
this.
dude. Yeah.
No one's been
Uh-huh.
talking about it. I'm just like,
I didn't even realize they were doing it, man. I didn't even
right?
think about it because I was like, I mean, I can't afford to fucking go.
I know,
and it
that's the other
pisses
thing,
me
too.
off.
Because
day
you wanna
pass
get the
is
weekend
like $130
pass.
bucks.
Absolutely.
Even
But
for
they-
one day, I think it's like $100 for a day pass, and I think the fees are like $14.95, so it'd probably be $120 somewhere around there.
Right.
But you could probably find somebody selling a ticket.
Yeah.
Maybe.
You could.
I probably,
I know. Yeah.
I probably could.
could.
I probably could. You know.
Ticket
so-
magnet.
I don't know, man.
a hustler, baby.
I don't know, man. Sometimes it works out, bro. Sometimes it just works.
Oh man, you know what I think's gonna
Bro.
work really well?
It's
This eye tracking for the
Yeah.
PSVR 2.
Yeah.
So, in case you guys don't know, the way the eye tracking works, the PSVR 2 has something called, well, a lot of games have something called foveated rendering, right? But it's fixed foveated rendering on older things where basically all the edges are a lower resolution, but the very center of what you're seeing
Right.
is very high
Or
resolution.
that cone.
Yeah, they did that with Resident Evil 7. So that's why it looks so great even on base PS4 hardware.
Right.
Because the center of it was very high res, but then they made sure to, lower it. So the overall pixel count's way lower. Well, with this, they're actually going to be able to track your eyes, look at what you're looking at, do what's called like a true foveated rendering. So it's always at the center of your vision with
Right.
each eye.
Yes.
Which I mean, I know we're not like iguanas or anything, but I'm just saying like it tracks the
Right.
way you're looking and it shows that.
Right. So
But-
it gives you that conal, anything that's
Uh-huh.
within that cone will be as pixel dense as
Yep.
possible.
But you're never going to notice the edges because it's
Unless,
always where
from
you're looking
What
at.
I understand is if you're using the share screen, then sometimes you can, because this actually does use a share screen. So
Oh.
on the share screen, you might see along the edges that all of a sudden everything's a little bit more blurred or a lower pixel
Right.
count. Which is really really interesting.
So if you're taking videos, it's going to look like that. Then.
It might.
Right. I didn't even think about that.
Yeah.
Yeah, but they also showed off you being able to use it for like menus and shit.
That's dope. Yeah, being able to like select your weapons with it, just using the eye tracking. You pull up a menu and you just look at what you want and then select it. Like that's dope.
It's.
I mean,
it's pretty
imagining just doing those things like on the fly, like
Well, and I
while
bet
you're
that
in
they can have
combat.
it to where if they give you the visual cue of where you're looking, but then they also give you that little bit of haptic feedback when you bump over something that you can interact with. Dude, it'll just be. That's user interface to a next level.
Right.
there. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. Like
Great
putting
fucking
all those
idea.
pieces together is going to be absolutely mind blowing.
Oh, you know what? I meant to say something
The
about
cable?
this. The cable.
It
You
does
saw
not
where
go
it
the way-
was?
yes.
It's farther back than I was
Yes,
thinking.
I don't know why they.
It looks weird
it's
on this one,
because-
dude. It's the
because where
angle.
the band. Well, it's because how the band is shaped.
It's actually
right?
a lot more
That's
shallow.
Actually, way
Yeah.
exactly.
Then-
this part actually goes way back to here now, instead of just going right here.
So that cable would totally be behind these
Yes.
headphones if I had them on. So
Right.
I'm happy
Yeah.
with that.
There you
okay?
go.
Yeah, because it was blowing my mind. I'm like, dude, there's no way that they're just gonna put a cable like right here on us. Like they can't.
No, it's mostly behind your back.
Right,
Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah, it just
So
comes
they
out
did
at
a
a
good
funny
job.
angle. It was
Yes.
a funny
It was-
angle.
Yeah, and then I was looking at a lot of
It's
people
behind
have
you,
had,
Tyrone.
a lot of people have had hands-on with PSVR 2,
Yeah.
and I'm jealous. And it's but it's killing me because a lot of them, I've heard a lot of people say like they've added these nice little slots for your earbuds.
Like that was in the
Like,
two.
that was in the V2. That's
Yeah.
that's not new. They're
That
like, oh my God,
shows
that's
you
such a
how
genius.
little people pay attention to this shit.
That's
because
true.
I've heard the same stuff with like a lot of this stuff where they start touting a feature that's been around.
Yeah.
You know,
Uh-huh.
as though it's some brand new shit. And I'm not talking about Sony.
Right.
Like Sony is legitimately telling you about the new things.
Right.
You know, but some random guy at TGS that tries it, he's like,
Yeah.
oh, I can't believe they do.
It's
what
like,
was the one
dude, it was.
thinking
I
about?
mean, you
Because
you
I think
could've
that
just
he was
played-
talking about the adjustable strap. I think he was talking about something like that. And I'm going
Yeah.
like, that's exactly
that's
the
been
same.
there the entire
I mean,
time.
this is upgraded.
Yeah.
It looks like it's a little bit more functional, but this is pretty much the same strap.
Yeah.
Because it kicks ass.
Yes. Uh-huh.
You know?
Yeah. I just hope that my mantises work on this guy.
They've
Because
said it's lighter. They've said it's,
mhm.
you know,
Oh,
so
they're
that's
like
awesome.
it's almost.
Right.
I mean, it's barely noticeable.
I don't see why your mantises wouldn't work because
Well-
I think
well,
they'll
because of
connect to
the-
the same
Right,
band.
but the front part of that headpiece actually looks like it goes slimmer. Whereas the other one was like a consistent shape all the way down. So the mantis is actually clipped to that frame.
Oh, okay.
And so
Okay.
that would be the
Yeah.
issue there. Is that it's like I don't
Have
know
to
if
get new
it'll-
mantises.
Fuck.
Which at that point you should get something like that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. It's like I don't know. I kind of like the over the ear.
Yeah. Well, that's
approach
part of
to
the
that.
reason I like the open sided.
Yeah.
Because it's the same thing where you can still hear everything in the room.
Right.
Because I think that's a big benefit in VR, not having isolation headphones.
Dude, I don't know.
You know?
Sometimes it just freaks me right the fuck out. You know, like I'll be playing a game and then I'm just like, man, I am so vulnerable right now.
Oh yeah.
You know, like it'll
yeah.
be late at night. I'm like, man, let me
Yeah.
check, make sure.
I
doors
lock
are
my
locked.
fucking door
Yes.
when I play VR. Like I usually don't lock my door during the day, but if it'll be in the middle of the goddamn day, I will lock my door playing
Absolutely,
VR.
absolutely. I'm just like, dude, I'm gonna wake up. I'm gonna come out of my headset and everything's gonna be missing
right.
in the room.
Uh-huh.
You know, like everything's
Yeah.
gonna be gone. I'm like, fuck.
Yeah,
Like-
I think I saw a video of that, and the guy was playing like something where he was swinging at stuff. So
they're
like,
just
they're
dodging
yeah, right,
around
they're
and-
dodging this, they're stealing the stuff out of the room. Like,
Oh
that's good
God.
shit. That's
Uh-huh.
good shit right there.
Yeah, man. So here we
I like
go,
the
man.
hands on fire.
I'm super hyped.
Yeah, me too. Do you want to be Sam Fisher?
Yeah,
Can
are
you
they-
do the Van Damme splits in the air and shoot a guy? We have a job opening for Sam
right.
Fisher. No.
Is your
It's-
name
it's not that
Sam
at all.
Fisher?
It's not
no.
that at all. I bet somebody was just like, sweet. Oh, I got it. I've been practicing
Finally.
these splits for years.
I got the gear and everything.
You know. No, but they are hiring writers.
Yeah.
Ubisoft is currently hiring writers to modernize Splinter Cell.
Yeah.
So that's the name of the game.
Which
is
what does
to-
that mean? But we'll see. I don't know.
Right.
God.
That could mean anything.
Well,
it
it
could be
could.
good. You know.
I think it has to be. You know, well, not has to be good. I'm sorry, but it's something that needs to happen.
Oh, it being modernized.
yes,
Yeah.
yeah.
Well, especially the first 3 Splinter Cells.
Right.
They were very much that whole like Bush era
Yeah,
politics.
exactly.
Right.
Exactly. Like post Cold War.
Right.
And there's a lot of other shit going on right now that would be way more interesting
Yeah.
and relevant. And so, if you're going to bring Sam Fisher back, even though I wonder if they're going to actually have to use Sam, you know?
Yeah.
Because I mean, they're saying
They
that
do.
they're rebooting the entire series.
Right. It's just gonna
Yeah.
be back to which I mean he was already kind of old, right?
Yeah,
Wasn't he
I think
already
he was
like
in his 40s or 50s?
right?
Yeah.
He was already a guy that came back from retirement.
Absolutely.
So-
Because he was the man.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's just like,
Too
God
good.
damn.
He was
Uh-huh.
not too old for this shit.
No,
You know, I just wonder, and you know, we've
No, he
touched
was in
on this
good shape,
before.
man.
Oh no, he's in
He's in
perfect. You mean
immaculate
immaculate
shape.
shape. Yeah.
2 weeks from
You
the
know?
time.
Yeah.
For every time, right? I
Every
wasn't even
time.
supposed to be here today.
It wasn't
Yeah,
even
oh
supposed
my
to
God.
be here today.
You know,
smell shoe
but,
polish?
But I wonder, Charlie, have you been drinking straight paint?
I mean,
so,
yeah.
Oh my god, this is so good. But I wonder, like, a modern Splinter Cell.
Yeah.
What does that really look like, right? Because Splinter Cell, its
Metal
true
Gear?
claim to fame. No,
No,
I
because
don't
Metal
think
Gear
they're-
went a
they're-
different way,
Right,
right?
Yeah, they're
right.
completely different.
Because
They're
Metal Gear Solid 5 being this open world, that's Metal Gear's identity now.
Right.
And it's
Yeah.
solid. It's
well,
awesome.
and also Metal Gear has the identity of being like much larger than life. You know what I'm
Right.
saying?
Because it's
Like,
wacky, right?
Exactly.
Yeah,
right.
this
We got
is that Tom
vampires,
Clancy
dude.
shit
What
over
the
here.
fuck is going on?
We have to be
this
pretty
is as
grounded.
as
Yeah.
possible. But the true shining point of Splinter Cell was its lighting and physics. It
Oh
was
man,
lighting
you
and
remember those
physics.
curtains?
Those curtains, baby. You know what I'm saying? Like all of that was so mind blowing at that point in time.
Yeah.
Now we got UE5.
Uh-huh.
Everybody can do this,
Uh-huh.
and so it's like, how do you really make Splinter Cell as striking as it was initially? Like, can
Wow.
you do it?
Or is it just old hat now?
Yeah, right. Well, I mean, it's like at this point it has to be gadgets, right?
Yeah.
Like that's
Right.
really you have to lean on.
Well, you
gadgets.
can kind of only move the graphical needle so far before the next leap forward,
Well, we
Yeah.
just hit the leap. Though.
Yeah,
That's-
right.
that's the
exactly.
That's
Yeah.
the thing, though.
You know, and so everything looks really good these
Yeah,
days.
uh-huh.
So I mean, just having once upon a time, just those 3 lights on his night vision goggles, that was dope.
It's amazing.
You know, that's nothing
Yeah.
today, right? So I just wonder, like, what do you do to make Splinter Cell have that same impact in 2022, 2023,
You got to mix up the gameplay.
right?
For me, that's what I'm thinking. Because gadgets, if you do gadgets with an interesting mechanic,
Right.
then you got it.
It's just gonna be a third person. Like this
It's
is
just gonna be
Ubisoft,
another
you
third
know?
person
Like,
game, though,
yeah,
right?
dude. And
Yeah.
stealth is not even that. Let's give him a cloak. I mean, what? Even then.
Yeah,
like,
that doesn't make sense, dude.
Right.
Give him thermoptic camo or something.
Yeah, and then we've done the different optics modes before. Like it's like, what do you really do? Give him more ways
Man.
to execute. We've already done like dragging people down
Yeah.
from like a hanging from a ledge. We've already done that. Hanging from the ceiling, grabbing them with your legs, choking them out. We've
Yeah.
done that. Like.
Uh-huh.
Like they have a real challenge ahead of them with this one.
They're gonna
You
add
know?
QTEs.
Oh,
That's
man,
Take it-
God,
take it on back.
dude. I hope they're not listening. They're
bullet time.
like, what would we do?
QTEs.
Bullet time.
Look.
That's it.
2 words.
Bullet time. For real, dude. Have some Sam Fisher versus Max Payne.
Oh,
Uh-oh.
that's actually kind of a cool idea.
I
Is that
know.
Max Payne is the bad guy for the Sam Fisher?
Oh,
and
shit.
Max Payne's totally gone off the rails, and he's like
Right.
a big drug dealer and everything.
Oh
So
man.
then-
Or what if it was like? What if they were on the same team? And what if it was a
Oh,
multiplayer game?
Sam and
one of
Max?
you is Sam and Max hit the road.
What is this, like a cross-country road trip? Game?
no, they gotta go save somebody's daughter. You know.
Oh,
it,
yeah,
man.
yeah,
What
no,
the
it's
fuck, man?
definitely a president's daughter.
Yes,
Right.
absolutely.
That's the only
Yes.
people that get
It's
kidnapped
a
that
taken
matter.
situation.
So, yeah, uh-huh.
But
Wow.
that'd be dope, man.
What if
It'd be-
what if Liam Neeson was Sam Fisher in what if he did the voice?
And we get Marky Mark as Max.
Hey, we get Oh, what's up, Alex? How you doing, man?
What up, brother? Yeah, welcome. Yeah, dude. I don't know. We got questions.
I can dig it. We'll see, though. We'll see. So somebody done leaked Grand Theft Auto 6. It's back in Vice City.
Yeah. Oh, cool.
Sure did.
And it's what is it? It's an early build.
Oh yeah, this is
Dude,
super
and
early.
people
Yeah.
are blowing up about
Yeah.
oh man, I can't believe this can't be real, man. This Grand Theft Auto ain't gonna look like this. It's like it's an early it's an alpha, goddammit.
Yeah,
Dude,
it's ridiculous.
yeah,
It's
uh-huh.
like
It's like people don't understand.
yeah. So there was a guy by the name of Teapot Tuber Hacker.
Okay.
And he.
Gee, wonder what he does.
Hey man, hey, guesswork. I think he likes teapots a lot.
And
He
potatoes.
hacks teapots,
And
yeah.
yes, and potatoes. And so he did. He released on the GTA forums 90 videos and images
Yeah.
from GTA 6 from a early, of course, pre-alpha build.
Yeah,
He
yeah,
also
yeah.
has the source code for GTA 5 and GTA 6. He put all that stuff up, and overnight, this man, he got up the next day. He was like, "Oh, I didn't expect this to go viral." I was like,
What are you talking about? It's
But he's
Grand Theft Auto, motherfucker.
right,
It's
exactly.
Like, of course it's
and
going
it was like
viral.
everywhere, and he's just like, okay, well, if you work for Take-Two or you work for Rockstar, reach out to me and we can reach a deal. You know, so he was trying to shake him down.
God.
Yeah, he was like, you know, I got your
wow.
source code. You know what I'm saying?
Let me
Like,
just extort you a little bit.
Right.
It's all good.
exactly. So the FBI has actually gotten involved now.
Oh damn.
And it's a really big deal right now.
Wow.
And apparently he's some 16-year-old kid in the UK. And so yeah. They said
They have to
yeah,
send
he's
Batman
like the
in to
leader
deploy,
of
like, extract him.
yeah, right. It's like the Lapsus.
No, Sam Fisher.
So yeah,
yeah,
it's gonna be
Sam
Sam
and Max.
Yeah.
And that's who they're going after.
Yeah, he's the leader of like the Lapsus ransomware group. And
Whoa.
so they're actually a hacker group who just do this kind of shit, man. And so it's really
So
interesting.
he might get some big charges.
He might, you know. Now, fortunately, he's a minor. You know, that works to his benefit, if anything else. You know, but extortion's still extortion, and we're talking about like Rockstar, man. Like they got money. They got a lot of money. Take-Two has a lot of money, you know, and so he's gonna have a lot to deal with. But you know, a lot of those images. I don't know if you guys watched any of the videos.
I watched a little bit.
Right. You know, I mean, it looked pretty bad.
Yeah,
but it's
yeah.
supposed to. Now the problem is that the internet, for some reason, somebody made a comment saying, "Well, graphics are the first thing that gets completed
No, it's
in
not.
game
No,
development."
it's fucking not.
And it's
What
like,
are you talking
what
about?
are you even talking about, right? Like,
Art
that is-
direction might be one of the first things that gets completed.
Yeah,
Well,
you might have a
mechanics,
couple
not
of
graphics.
you might have a
You
couple
have
of
to build the
concept,
goddamn game
like
first.
paintings
Yeah.
or drawings like up on walls and shit. But
Well, like-
not the
I
graphics.
mean, some things
No,
look like.
dude.
I mean, that was like MS Paint, and the coolest
Right,
thing, well,
because it's
right.
just placeholder shit.
Right,
right. Because
exactly.
that's what you do is you make sure that like you can get into a car first before you model the car exactly like it
Exactly.
yeah,
looks.
and put
Right.
all the shadows and lighting.
Yeah,
and,
and
grit
do all
and
that stuff.
Shit. Yeah.
That's it,
exactly.
yeah.
You know.
Exactly. And so this is
That's
actually
probably the last thing that happens in game
And then they tweak and
And then
tweak
they
and
fine-tune.
tweak and tweak. Yeah.
Right. And so, but it's kind of set off a really interesting shockwave in the games industry because now a lot of people have come forth and shown a lot of their games in a pre-alpha state. Just to show people, like Control. Remedy released what Control looked like before.
It looks like assholes, doesn't it?
All the
Yeah,
assholes. Like really, really
Yeah.
bad. They showed
Thanks,
what
Alex.
Destiny looked.
I love a good hackers reference.
No, right. Yeah, you know what it is. But yeah, they showed what is that? Vikings on trampolines. They showed what that looked like. They showed what Destiny
Yeah.
looked like. All these games, like all these big name titles that we
Yeah.
all know and love, and are graphical masterpieces.
I mean, I
They're
remember
like,
seeing the
here's what
behind the
that
scenes
shit
for
looked
Gears
like.
of War.
Right.
You know what I mean? And they kind of had the characters looking good, and everything else looked like it was made out of fucking cardboard. or
Right.
something. Like,
and
it's
Control is a whole bunch of boxes, and some of
Boxes.
them would say like "throw me"
Right.
on them. You know what I'm saying? And
Uh-huh.
so yeah, and she looked like she was like a librarian floating around. She had like a dress on and shit.
It's
It
like
was
nobody's
horrible.
ever seen games in development before.
Exactly.
Right?
Exactly. You know, like people like
Let's
get it-
educate you then.
Well, I mean, isn't that the
Yeah.
weird thing? Like people have more of a say in like what comes out without knowing anything
Without
about the
knowing shit.
process.
Yeah.
They don't know
Uh-huh.
shit about
Well,
the process.
it's because of that whole mentality of like, well, I don't have to be a musician to criticize music.
Right.
I don't have to be a chef to criticize food.
right.
You're
I
right.
mean,
but
yeah, you're right, but that doesn't mean your opinion's worth shit
And that doesn't
either.
mean that you get to be a part of the creative process.
That's
Exactly.
right.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah. You're still
Like,
just
if
a
I'm-
person with an
if I'm
opinion.
writing
You're
a
not a
song
chef.
and all I have is the guitar riff,
Yeah.
it's not gonna sound like the finished product.
No.
Shit, try being a
Yeah.
bassist, right? You know what I'm saying? It's
Yeah,
like,
really,
exactly.
yeah.
dude, you know,
Here's
what-
the-
it's
yeah.
the same thing. You know, like people are like, oh, you know, I don't have to be a chef to criticize food.
Yeah.
I'm like, well, you're not allowed in the kitchen.
Yeah,
Right.
that's
You know
right.
what I'm saying?
Uh-huh.
Like you can taste this soup. You
Uh-huh.
can tell me if you like the soup or you don't like the soup,
Yeah.
but you can't come in the kitchen.
No.
You know what I'm saying? And so I do.
But because of this corporate interest bullshit, where all the publishers are looking at it and be like, "Oh, you got to make them happy."
Uh-huh.
Oh no!
Right.
And they start hovering around their studios and going like, "But we heard on the internet
Dude.
that they don't like it."
Exactly. It's like what happened with Street
Shut it
Fighter
down.
5 having to censor a whole bunch of their characters, a whole bunch of their animations.
Uh-huh.
Now we've gotten to the point of even like Beyonce, right? Beyonce had a new album release this year, and shout
what
out
happened?
to B. People were complaining over some of the lyrics. One of them was spaz. They said that that was a slur and that she should remove it, and she actually removed it from her album. And then there was another, I forgot what the other one was. I think there were two other situations where they were complaining, and she was like, okay, well, I'll go on the back end and edit my shit. And I'm like, No.
No.
You know what I'm saying? Like, no, because that's a slippery slope. Like, there's
Setting
no way
precedent.
back. Exactly. You know? And so,
You're giving them too much authority.
right. And I think that there is a point in time where less information is better. You know, I think it is kind of nice when somebody goes dark. All the shit that people were saying about, like, you know, Harada and Namco Bandai for not releasing more information on Tekken 8 sooner.
Oh, yeah.
You know, they're
Oh,
just
yeah.
sitting here just, like, biding their time. So when they drop that shit, it's like, bam, here it goes. You know, Harada, don't ask me for shit. You know what I'm saying? That's Harada. And he's like, here's my shit.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
I don't want your opinions.
Harada,
I don't need that.
AK-47, kill every motherfucker in the
In
room.
the motherfucking room.
And then a katana to
That's
clean
right.
it up.
Absolutely.
He just sweeps with the katana.
Yeah, dude. And so, yeah, people got things to say, but I do think that, you know, just keep it to yourself, man. Who cares?
Yeah, I mean, we know we're another like 4 years out for this
Right,
game anyway.
Exactly.
You know, why are people
exactly.
even fucking worried about it?
Yeah, now there are a lot of people within Rockstar that are like, this is devastating for our company, you know.
Yeah, but that's just because people are morons. It's not because it's actually devastating. That's the fucked up part.
Right.
You know?
It's like,
Does
well,
it actually affect development? Because what you were saying is now there's going to be a whole bunch of people cracking whips on the art team and being like, you guys got to get something looking beautiful so that we can show these people so they can calm the fuck down.
Yeah,
We have to have something to show the shareholders.
Well, because that is the way
Yeah.
that leaks work. You know,
Right.
once that information, same thing happened with Street Fighter 5 or Street
yeah.
Fighter 6. Once that roster was leaked, all of a sudden they're like,
well, okay, we
might
gotta
as well
we gotta
show
show
the
'em.
roster.
Gotta
Yeah,
show 'em.
right. You got to do the thing. So I would expect to hear something about GTA 6 within the coming months.
Yeah.
Right.
You know, and so we'll see. Yeah, so the next thing kind of bleeds right on into this as well. Like,
You mean it
you know,
leaks right on into
Leaks
it?
Leaks right on into it.
It's
And-
just dripping.
yeah,
the
and-
whole time.
and they leaked like about what, like 10 hours of gameplay.
Yeah,
or some
totally.
shit?
Diablo
Yeah.
4.
Yeah, I did not watch any of this game.
Yeah,
I haven't
I didn't
either.
watch
Well, a lot of people, it got overshadowed by this other leak. You know what I'm saying? Everybody was thinking about the GTA thing.
Right.
And then Diablo 4 just leaked under the radar.
Because
And I
10
think
hours
people-
of Diablo 4 is like 5 hours of clicking on items on the ground, right?
I mean, a lot of that. But I
It's
mean,
like-
looking at their navigation system, it's way better than ever before. Like,
Yeah.
you actually have horseback riding and
Yeah.
shit now.
Yeah,
You can,
yeah.
like, jump off of your horse and teleport forward and attack somebody, like, all seamlessly. There's climbing now. Like, there's
Wow.
they're doing a lot with Diablo 4. Diablo 4 looks sick.
It
Yeah.
looks really good.
It looks
Yeah.
really, really
See,
good,
this
man.
this feels like one of those, like with GTA. That was obviously a group of hackers that like got the material and then put it online.
Well, you
for-
think this is intentional?
This
This might
seems
be
like one of
internal.
those intentional leaks.
Yeah.
It's a leak.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
It might- I think it is somebody in the company. I think it is. It was because I mean, you're thinking about how much footage you got.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
like this
Yeah.
isn't just somebody who just got to play an early build and broke
Yeah.
NDA.
Because I mean, films do that shit all the time where they like leak a set photo, and it's
Man, it's like
man,
somebody they didn't get their lunch break. And they
Yeah.
got mad. They're just like, I'm supposed to get an hour for lunch. You gave me 30 minutes. Fuck you. You know what I'm saying? They about to see this barbarian go to work. And
That's
so,
right.
So that's what it was. It was like leaked footage of barbarian gameplay.
Yeah, and it looks cool. Like
Yeah.
I saw a couple screenshots. I was like, oh, okay.
Yeah, I mean, I already know that I'm going to play this game. I'm going to buy it. I really don't. I don't need all of that. I'd rather
I mean,
be
I'm
surprised.
eventually
by stuff
going to
anyway.
pick Game Pass back up. I'm kind of thinking about doing it now because Scorn just came out.
Scorn came out. They're also adding Guilty Gear Strive. They're also adding Blaze Blue Cross Tag.
Wow.
That was
Boy.
announced today. Yeah, they're about to throw like all these fighters on Xbox now. You know,
Whoa.
yeah, and so they're all
Crazy.
going to be on Game Pass. Yeah, boy.
Jesus. Okay.
Yeah,
well, that's a.
I mean,
Yeah. So to leak right into the next subject too.
this motherfucker right here.
This one.
Rut roll.
Right here.
what he do?
Somebody spoke a little
Uh-oh.
bit too much.
Yeah.
Break it down for me because I don't know
Yeah.
all the details. I just understand the.
Okay, so essentially, what's his motherfucker's name?
Dan
Allen
Allen.
Gamer.
Yeah.
He has a channel that, a very, very prominent channel.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of devs, really trust this guy.
Yeah.
They'll invite him in, show him like some, alpha, beta footage. But, he has to sign NDAs, et cetera, et
yeah.
cetera.
Yep.
But what he did was he had a secondary channel where he would just leak these things. And on that secondary channel, he'd say, like, I know everything about all the games that you're interested in. And, put it on that channel.
And he
Well-
was anonymous on that channel for a while.
Well,
Is that what
no,
it-
he was no. It was just another persona completely,
yeah.
right? So nobody
Yeah.
knew who that person
who it
was.
was.
who
That's
was
what I'm
leaking.
saying. Is no
But-
one knew who that channel was.
Right. Except for somebody ended up posting a comment about who he might be, and he posted, "No, I'm somebody else," but forgot to switch over to the other account. And so, look at that look right there, that look of regret. And so it was Dan Allen Gamer.
I wonder how immediately he realized he fucked
Oh,
up.
I mean, it was
I'm
gone in a
sure-
matter of like a minute. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? But that's too late.
That's too
Yeah,
late.
That's too late.
Someone
People
saw
are
it.
That's
always
right.
taking screenshots, baby. They got receipts.
Yeah, and so people started going through them receipts, and like all these developers as well, been like, oh shit, it's kind of weird. Like the things that he talked about on this channel and the things that they would leak on the other channel, they always lined up. They were always talking about the same things around the same time.
That's messy.
Yeah, yeah, and so this
Man.
motherfucker's gonna get sued, boy.
Oh,
He is gonna
dude.
have to pay some money. And so, and it really sucks because there's a lot of people who were really supportive of him and really
Yeah.
liked the guy. It just makes you ask the question, like, how much is fame worth?
Right,
who
right.
who cares at that point? Like,
Yeah.
what are you really gonna get?
Because it seems
out of
like if
this?
he's already in close with the developers enough for them to be telling him that sensitive information, then he probably, as long as he keeps helping them out,
you
will
win.
have a career for the rest of his
Right,
life doing that
right.
stuff.
right,
Yeah, because you've already gained the confidence of the inside.
right.
You know.
But it's also that trying to like making it a living as a content creator has like
It's
kind
clout, dude.
of forces you. It doesn't completely force you that way,
Yeah.
but you can feel like, oh, okay, well, I
that's
just need a constant
taking
drip
the easy
feed.
path.
Yeah,
It's-
that's the
it's-
thing.
Yeah,
it's
it's
taking
the
the
same
easy
people.
path.
It's
for
like being an
constant- yeah.
angry reactionary on YouTube.
Right.
Like if you just are angry at a thing, whatever the fuck it is,
No matter what,
Oh,
it is.
you
people
will
click.
get them
Probably,
clicks.
You'll
probably,
get 'em,
it's
you know?
you're probably angry at Wallman.
Oh yeah, probably.
You know?
Well, yeah.
People
Uh-huh.
love that.
Fuck.
That's
And
right.
so yeah, so he just
You will get them clicks.
But now he's gonna be down to goose egg, actually negative.
Goose.
Because not only is your career in
he's
shambles,
gonna get big sued.
but you're gonna get big sued.
Yeah.
And so yeah,
Put
boy.
on your big boy suit pants.
They just gonna pull him right on off.
That's right.
Bend over.
So we're going from big
No
sued
grease.
to big,
Big
mode.
mode.
Yeah,
Dude,
what?
this is great.
Big
I think it's
mode?
pretty awesome.
You know
I
about
don't know
this?
nothing about
Yeah,
this.
you know
Yeah.
about this though.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
so
and Donkey's like
Video
basically,
game Donkey.
Yeah,
The boy.
Yeah, man.
You
He's
know
making
what I'm
this
saying?
making this.
He
new
and his wife Leah are making their own dev studio or
Oh, okay.
publishing. Sorry, publishing.
Yeah, publishing.
Oh,
That's what
okay.
it
Yeah,
is. Yeah,
so they're
okay.
publishing video
Yeah.
games now.
Cool.
He made a
Yeah.
video about
you know
it.
Donkey,
He's like,
though, right?
You don't know video game Donkey?
dude,
You
no. Okay.
probably-
Okay, yeah.
Dude, I'm like, man, just throw up any Donkey video. It's a good time.
Seriously,
man.
yeah.
I mean, just his
Okay.
pentameter of speech is
Yeah,
just.
he's a
like
good
my boy.
creator.
He
Oh,
is.
hell
He's
yeah.
very good. He's
Okay.
been at it for a very long time, like
Hell
11
yeah.
years.
Uh-huh.
And he's always done reviews, and he plays like everything. Like,
yeah,
Cool.
seriously. But
I'll
he
check
and
him
his
out.
wife have, just decided, like at this point, they want to be more involved with the creative process of video
It's
games.
fucking awesome.
Yeah, right.
Uh-huh.
And so now they're aiming more towards like indie game studios that aren't really getting a lot of shine. There's like, okay, well,
Yep.
because you think about as long as he's been creating content, Donkey got some money.
Yeah,
You know what
dude.
I'm saying? Like,
yeah.
but back before everyone wanted to be a streamer, this motherfucker was streaming. Back before everybody was creating content, he was creating a lot of content.
Yeah.
You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? So he's got the money, and so they're like, they will never support anything that supports blockchains or
Yep.
NFTs. You know what I'm
Yep.
saying? There's like, it's all about the little guy, and then like the way he's presenting it, it almost makes you think of, because he's like, whatever it is, we're not gonna put that shovelware out there. He's like, whatever it is, I want this big mode stamp to be my seal of approval.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like
Yep.
that means that
Hell yeah.
I'm
Which
all about
this
this.
isn't the logo. I actually like the logo.
Oh, yeah,
it
it's a
looks like
dope-
it's right behind his donkey
Yeah.
there.
Yeah.
Donkey's donkey.
Donkey. Yeah, man. And so, like, but it made me think of, like, back in the day. You remember, like, back in the days of NES, you always get that Nintendo
Yeah, that
seal
Nintendo
of
seal
approval.
of approval.
That's
And
what I
it
was
used to
thinking,
mean
man.
a lot to me.
Uh-huh.
Man.
Oh yeah, it
Yeah.
meant
It really
a lot
did.
to everybody.
Yeah,
like,
man.
Before we realized, oh wait, no, that's just a sticker.
Well, no. I mean, I really do think because there were a lot of games that did not have that on there, but the ones that did were usually just fucking
They were
great.
pretty good, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Well, I mean,
it usually just meant that they went through the legit channels.
Of
through
course,
Nintendo.
but I was a kid, man. I'm 5 years old.
Right.
But that was the thing, man. It was like super hype. I think
Is this your childhood?
Oh,
Damn.
Nah, I'm
brutal,
kidding. It
bro.
was mine too.
That's
It was mine
brutal.
too. It was mine too. I'm punching myself.
You know what I'm saying? But no, whatever. Big ups to Donkey.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, shout out.
Big Mode.
Yeah, Big Mode. So actually, they have a website up right
that
now.
name.
I love it.
If you're making a game, hey man, go check
Hey,
it
we're
out.
modes.
Man. It might help
We're
you get it
modes
out.
too.
Yeah.
We're like Mode Brothers.
Get on the mode.
That's right.
Shit.
Yeah. So.
This was not what I expected at all.
This all me.
Yeah, this
Yeah,
really?
what's up with this?
Right. Well, I didn't know exactly. I thought it was going to be about graphics cards
It is.
initially, but no, it's about way more than that.
Oh yeah, but that's the way they
God,
always
it's like
do, man.
real world
That's just-
applications.
that's
Like,
just
we're talking about
because-
self-driving cars.
But it's mostly because Jensen Wong wants to talk.
Right. Yeah.
Like that dude just loves talking.
Yeah.
Which that might not have been him. That might have been the AI. They've been
That's funny.
they've been fucking around with this for a while,
Uh-huh.
and they have like a very accurate Jensen model, and they even did like with one of the last keynotes. I think it was for the 30 series. They showed a whole presentation of Jensen showing off a graphics card, and then they had Jensen come out, and he was like, "That wasn't me.
That's
that was
hilarious.
I recorded the voice, and they applied." All the rest of it 3D, so they're like getting to that point.
Oh God, that's
so
terrifying.
now he doesn't even have to show up.
That's
he just works from home.
oh my God, he's like pants.
Yeah.
Fuck pants.
I don't know why, but now there's like a running joke with them where they take new video cards out of the oven.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know. It's something about like baking wafers because like it's the silicon wafers and like so there's some weird running NVIDIA joke. So now when they have new cards that he likes to go to the kitchen and open up an oven and pull the stuff out of it.
It's kind of dope.
It's funny.
Yeah, right.
I think they started it because of the pandemic. They were streaming stuff from remote, and so they just had him stream from his house, and
It's
then
like,
so
oh, well, here's the best place to hide something.
in the oven. And he pulled his cards out. But now the new NVIDIA cards, the you're right. It wasn't just about cards. It was about all their AI software and the deep learning shit. Because I mean, they're talking about doing the tensor cores across all sorts of different platforms. Yeah. They were talking about tensor cores. That's right. For AI.
That's epic.
It's all of its own shit, right? They're doing like you said, driving car
self-driving
applications,
cars and stuff.
which they were working with Tesla initially to sell them like all the graphics processors. Which is funny because the reason they use graphics processors, not to get too in the weeds, is because graphics processors can do a whole bunch of things simultaneously.
Right.
So in like a car situation, it could be monitoring a shit ton of things and doing all these little changes, rather than it having to be like a serial process like a normal processor does, right? But they showed off like just some of the detection capabilities of the new driving stuff, and they showed off how some of the AI upscaling capabilities that they have, and they showed off. What am I forgetting here? I mean, they showed off.
It was like 2.5 hours of
stuff.
shit.
Right.
Yeah, for real. Like,
Yeah,
like there's no way to cover all that right now.
Yeah. But the thing that matters is there are new graphics cards coming out, and they cost too much.
Yes.
that is the thing.
Isn't that always the case,
That's really
Every
this
time.
is wow. This is really
this is a little egregious.
This is real
Yeah.
bad. Like the top end card, which I don't think this is the worst price, to be honest. If you actually are trying to get this level of card, it's $1,600, which is a shit ton. But it's basically a professional card.
Right.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And if you're doing rendering and all that stuff, it like for $1,600, it's fucking solid. It's got 24 gigs of video memory.
It's just
on it, dude.
the only
But the
issue
low
right
end is
now-
9.
I mean, it's like
900.
you buy
dude.
it and then give NVIDIA a year.
It's going to take
Like,
them more
they're
than a
just-
year.
Dude,
Yeah.
they're just churning these things out. Like
Yeah.
they're moving at such a rapid rate that's like, Jesus.
Right.
When do you jump in?
Uh-huh.
And when do you just like hold your cards for just a second?
Right.
You know, like,
Mhm.
because I mean, you give this, and these cards are slated for when? 2023?
Let's see.
2024?
The 3090,
Right?
4090.
That double PC build price.
for fucking real, yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
The 3090 is coming out, but just to say this though, $1,600 for a professional card, like if you actually are doing work with your computer,
Right.
that's like less than half of what it would cost to get an equivalent workstation card.
Right.
So
Right.
it's
True.
totally
Very true.
worth it if you're actually doing some shit other than
Most
gaming.
people are just
Right.
like, I'm
Like,
just playing
yeah.
games
But
and
if you're
I'm
just
on
playing
social
games,
media.
they are ripping you off.
I'm on
Okay,
Discord,
they're ripping
like-
you the fuck off. There's some cool things though. But so the 3090 is coming out next month, and the 3080s, because there's two of them, and this is fucking bullshit by the way. They're 40s. Sorry, I'm saying 30 here.
Yeah, I was about to say.
The 4090 is coming out next month. The 4080s are coming out in November, and one of them is more powerful than the other one, even though they're both called 4080s. And I mean, like, the processors are different.
Like we're doing like a TI? Or
No, they're just called 4080s.
What
That's
the
the problem
fuck?
here. Is it should be a
Oh.
4080 and a 4070.
Right.
Because the 4080 12 gig, which has a significantly slower processor in it, is like 900, and then the 12 gig, the 16 gig version of it is $1,200.
It's already
So we got
confusing as
we
fuck.
got
Yeah.
9 and 12 for the same titled card,
Right.
but the only thing that they show you the difference is video memory. But there's more than that under the hood, because like every spec is different on the two of the cards.
Right.
You know,
Wow.
and then
they're
for
just calling it the same
Right,
thing
dude.
because fuck names.
they're just being assholes,
Yeah.
you know. And then on the
Yeah.
other side of things, because this is the way I'm looking at it, is right now the 30 series cards are on fire sale basically.
Yeah.
And that's not just from stores; it's also from people selling them secondhand. Although I wouldn't exactly recommend that because of mining, right?
Yeah.
But if you're looking at getting a new card, it'd be better to go get the 30 series cards and spend what, like for instance,
And
you
they're
could get.
still very future proof.
They're
Yeah.
super, yeah. I mean, because for the same price as a 30, as a 4080, you can get a 3090 Ti. So that has the same 24 gigs of memory that 40, so like you can get a boss ass GPU for cheap right now.
Right.
So unless you need the latest features that this shit
Well,
has,
but that's what they're
know,
banking on.
they are.
Right? I mean, everybody has that first kid on the block syndrome, especially when
Yeah.
it comes to PC enthusiasts.
dude, yeah,
You know,
PC
it's like-
Master Race, right? I have to have the
Absolutely.
best.
I gotta have the best.
Yeah.
Gotta have the most.
Even though I'm
current.
only
Same-
playing Minecraft.
It's the same.
I
thing
still
with
have to
fucking
have the
iPhones,
best.
dude. It's like
Yeah.
Jesus Christ. Like you really don't, especially right now.
You don't need the Pro iPhone.
If you got that
You don't
3080,
fucking-
you're doing work. Don't worry
Oh,
about it. You know what I'm
seriously.
saying? Like,
Yeah.
seriously.
Uh-huh.
Like I don't know what it is that you're trying to play all at the same time.
Look at my EP,
You know?
and it's so big.
Seriously, man. Seriously, that kind
Yeah.
of thing. It kind of. But that's the point, is to get consumers lost in the jargon, right?
There are
You
some
know?
cool things though. There are legitimately some cool
totally.
things.
Yeah.
Like they're talking about 4 times the ray tracing performance on these new cards, which is probably more than realistic.
Right.
But they are getting a lot better with the ray tracing, and
Yeah.
more games are actually supporting it.
Yeah.
They have better AI upscaling for the video, which is that's important if you're playing esports stuff and you have to have a completely stable thing, I think.
Right, yeah.
But you can get crazy high frame rates and all that. But the thing that I actually think is dope that nobody's really talking about is now they have a dual encoder chip that's an AV1 encoder. So AV1 encoders do all of the latest codecs for any kind of video encoding.
Yeah.
And
That's awesome.
you can do them 2 separate encodings at the max quality at the same time.
That's
Cool.
huge.
Or you
Fuck,
can
that's
double
huge.
it as a single unit and increase the render latency. So if
Yeah.
you're making videos, like this
Yeah.
new AV1 processor is amazing, and it's totally a footnote on most people's shit
Right,
about the
yeah.
40 series,
Yeah.
But like for content creation, man, the 4000 series looks awesome. You just
Yeah.
better have a shit ton of money.
That's
Right.
You know?
Exactly.
Because, yeah, like he said, that it's like $1,600, even $1,200 is more than what a lot of people want to spend on an entire goddamn
rig.
PC.
Right,
Exactly.
You know,
exactly.
you used to be able to spend $800 and get a whole computer
Yes.
that would play modern games.
Right.
You know,
Yeah.
it's nah,
It's not there anymore.
it's not. It's not, dude. Uh-huh.
Check out that keynote though. There's a lot
yeah.
of information in there. If
There's
you're-
also
if
that
you're-
cool little RC car game.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
dude, it's awesome. And they were showing how they simulate all the interactions, everything. That's the coolest part of the whole presentation.
Yeah.
Is them showing off that RC car game.
That's cool.
Which I'm hoping is an actual demo they release. Yeah, so
Right.
They're fixing a problem in a
Okay.
weird way.
That's an odd way.
They're potentially
we
doing a
haven't-
removable disc version of.
No,
the
they're doing it.
PS5.
It's supposed to come out next September.
So it's not just a rumor.
No.
So this, because I remember back before the PS5 came out, they released a video where it showed how easy it was to tear down, or maybe they were just doing a tear down, but
It is very
couldn't you
easy.
already remove?
No, not like
No.
that.
Not
this
like
is
the
gonna
way
be,
they're doing it.
No,
This is more.
basically what's going to happen is they're going to only have. Okay, so the point is that Sony is reportedly making a PS5 with a removable disc drive, and they'll sell it as a bundle with the disc drive, or
Yeah.
they'll sell it like as only the digital edition, and then you can buy the disc drive separately if you choose to later down the road.
Oh, okay. So
basically
you don't
this-
have to buy a whole ass console if you want the disc drive.
Yeah, you can buy the disc drive separately. If
right.
You bought the
if you
digital
just
console.
if you already had
Yeah.
the digital console, you can
Uh-huh.
just get the disc
Disc
drive.
Which
drive.
also
But now
works
the
for people that
difference-
have the one now, the digital console.
Well, the
now.
only difference is okay. So what this basically does is it makes it so that they don't have to have a disc version and a digital version.
Right.
Everything will be the digital version, and then you'll have the disc drive. The difference is that if you have an older PS5, you're gonna have one less USB-C slot.
Yeah.
This new one has one extra USB-C slot for that disc drive, right?
But they're
And
making it to
so-
where they only have one SKU now.
right,
Yeah.
exactly.
So that helps them out with making sure that everything's stocked.
Right.
Right. They don't have to worry about production of two consoles. They just have to make one PS5.
Well, that's kind of
Sell
smart
it that
too,
way.
because I mean, a
It's
lot of
smart
times
play.
the disc drive is the thing that goes out, right?
Right, exactly.
You know?
And now you just replace it.
Yeah.
And we're living in a much more digitally focused world. Some
Will,
people
will
don't
this disc
like
drive work
disc
with
drive.
other things? Can I use the disc drive on my
Oh,
PC as a
please,
Blu-ray?
You know the hacker community is about to have a
Well, it's
field
made
day
by
with this
Sony,
shit.
so it
Look,
should
look,
just work.
give them
Yeah, it
enough
should.
time.
Yeah.
Look,
And
give
it's
them enough
USB.
time, Phil, and you'll
Yeah.
be able to play Guitar Hero with the disc drive. All right, I'm just
I'm
saying.
saying,
Zip,
play
zip, zip,
play
zip,
Elden
zip,
Ring
zip,
with
Yeah,
it.
it'll be DJ Hero. That's what it is.
Yeah, dude. So I mean, but this is a good move for Sony. Like, it's gonna
a
save
good
some
idea.
money. Help them lower those production costs.
Hell yeah.
And then hopefully get more PS5s
and hopefully
people's hands.
lower the price of these motherfuckers.
I
He's
got
strongly
jokes.
doubt
He's
that.
funny, man.
I was gonna say it's strong.
funny.
That's not what's happening at all.
Optimus.
You know?
Scott, you so silly.
I totally meant that as a joke.
That disc drive, if I had to guess, it's probably gonna be $99.99.
Oh,
If
for
I
the
had
disc
to
drive,
guess,
$100 disc drive. Yeah,
Wow.
If
Uh-huh.
I had to guess, it has to be about $100.
it's going to cost exactly the same to get a digital plus a disc drive as it costs to just get.
Except for both of them are taxed, and so.
Oh,
it might-
well, if they
it has
have the
to be more.
bundle, then maybe it'll just be square.
Right.
You know.
Right.
But
Yeah.
oh, it makes sense. It totally makes sense.
Also, I think it's
From a production standpoint, it
Right,
stupid
right. And
makes
I was
sense.
just thinking about it from a sales standpoint. Like,
Yeah.
this might be another good way for them to make another extra couple of bucks off the PS5.
Uh-huh.
Be like, oh, that disc drive. Sorry, guys, it was just more expensive than you might have thought. Like, oh, $139.99 if you want this. disc drive.
Because I've seen the breakdown of like what each part in the console cost. You know what I mean? When it very first launched, they were talking about like the most expensive things are obviously the processor and the GPU. But then they also spent like a shit ton of money on the cooling system.
Right.
You know,
Yeah.
so like the cooling costs more than what the disc drive costs.
Right.
You know, I think they said that the disc drive is probably somewhere in like the $30 range as far as the one that's inside here. But you got to have a fancy outside case, right? You got to make it look like this nice router that you have
That's right.
here.
Exactly.
So what if
Exactly.
they have removable fins for the disc drive too?
And
it's
then,
like
I mean,
just
for
a
real,
tiny
well, I mean,
PS5
that
that you put a disc.
That's actually a very
And then
good
they don't
point
put
that
out
you're
any
making.
customizable fins
like
for it.
what shape would be like
really, I'm
compatible
thinking
with
of
the
just a
PS5
tiny
shape?
PS5 that's next to it that you put
Right,
a disc
just
in.
a little.
Seriously, because whatever it is, look, PS5 is massive.
Does it
That
attach
thing
to
is
it,
huge.
huh?
That's my question.
Right? Does this-
Where does it
Where does
go?
it go?
Where
Where does
do
it
you
go?
put it?
Where-
You know what I'm saying? Like
Nobody
even if
has
you
that
have-
much shelf
I've
space.
got the disc version, right? I've
Yeah.
got a disc version of PS5, whatever the fuck. Thing is huge, right? But if I did just have a digital, which is just a little bit slimmer, you know what I'm saying? It's still just as wide.
Yeah, because the disc version just kind of has a donk.
Right,
That's
yeah,
it. It's
exactly.
just like,
It's got a little boop, boop. Yeah, a little, you know what I'm saying? And it's not flat on top, so you
Yeah.
can't put
Yeah.
anything on top of it. And if you're standing it upright, I mean, well, you ain't got
Yeah.
no more space in your house.
Yeah.
So where?
what if they
could
make
we
a
even
what if
put
they
it?
make a different stand that you screw
if
into the
it's the
bottom that
stand?
also has the? What if it is is the
What if
stand?
what if it is the stand?
You just fucked me up with that one. What if it is the stand? Okay,
know,
I'm hearing you here.
Dude, man, I'm like,
Okay.
I have no idea. Like, Sony, what are y'all
Like
doing?
you just
man?
fucked me up on that one.
They're gonna have to get
You got
really
me fucked
creative.
up.
He's gonna be thinking about that all night. We're gonna be playing.
What
something
if it
later.
is the
Guys,
stand?
really? What if it is the stand? The universe could collapse. Did somebody say Cthulhu's real
Shit,
name?
My entertainment center might collapse, man. That
Goddamn.
thing is huge, man. You know, like seriously, no cap. If y'all have not seen the size of a PS5, bro,
It's beefy.
it's a
No
big boy.
bag will contain it.
no.
You need luggage for this
Yes,
bitch.
you
You
do.
can't put it in a backpack.
Yeah, you
Nope.
better hope you have one of
No.
those flat carts. Like,
Dude,
yeah.
I do not own a bag large enough to put my PS5 in.
Nope.
Uh-uh.
Nope. I got duffel bags.
Dude.
And like, gonna have a whole ass gym bag.
And
Nah,
that original
dude, you get
box
one of
is
those,
not like the old
Samsonite
boxes.
fucking like
That
travel
box is in my
cases.
closet. It's massive.
Not only is it massive, but it's thin and shitty.
Yes,
Because you
it
remember
is.
how, like, for instance, you get a GameCube, you put that bitch back in the box,
Oh,
fold it up, and
yeah.
you're good.
it's
You're not
fine.
even worried about it. You know what I
Right.
mean? No,
Uh-huh.
this box will get you a broken PS5. is
real
what
quick.
happens.
Uh-huh.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm telling you, man. Yeah, so Yakuza is not called Yakuza anymore.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
they're
See,
actually.
I was wondering if this
Sega-
was the game or like the organization.
No, yeah.
No.
Well, see, I think that might be the whole
We're
reason
trying to
why.
rebrand.
It's,
Yeah.
Yeah.
it's part of it. That's the reason why Yakuza did not come to the Switch.
Yeah.
Is
Yeah,
because
I
the
imagine.
negative
Can't say that
connotation.
name.
It's the negative
On here,
connotation
yeah.
that comes along with
Right.
Yakuza, and they're like, we don't think that the Switch is the landscape for that, right?
Right.
So this might help that in the future. It
Which would
should,
be neat, yeah.
because the Yakuza games are great.
Yeah, they're
But no, what they're doing is Sega's changing the name to Like a Dragon to make it more in line with the Japanese name of the series.
Exactly.
Right?
okay.
And so it's less to do with like Yakuza and its connotation as far as the Japanese gangs and everything.
They're just trying to flatten it
They're
out.
trying to flatten it out.
Yeah.
Exactly. It's like
Streamline
Like a
the
Dragon,
branding.
especially
Yeah.
with Like a Dragon performing as well as it has.
Totally.
Right.
It's just like, okay, well, Yakuza as a franchise, for the people who know Yakuza and play those games, they buy them every time.
immediately.
It's
yeah.
very difficult to sell those to people on the outside of that spectrum,
Mm-hmm.
right? Now, with the success of Like a Dragon, all of a sudden they can kind of start over with a franchise, right?
Yeah, totally.
Like from a branding perspective, it's like, oh, we know Like a Dragon. Oh, here's a new Like a Dragon.
Yeah,
And now all of a
wasn't-
sudden,
Right.
even though they're just
The-
really
Weren't they
remaking,
kind of trying to do that with like what was the game Judgment or whatever? Kinda try to-
Lost Judgment.
I guess it was.
Yeah, that was Lost Judgment.
Okay.
Yeah, right. They kind of tried that a little
kinda
bit.
tried it a little bit,
right, but
yeah.
they deviated from the Yakuza path. That wasn't.
That wasn't a
proper.
Yakuza game,
Exactly.
but it was a Yakuza
Yeah,
game.
but now what we're doing was with like Ishin, you know what I'm saying?
Right,
Like
yeah.
a Dragon
Yep.
Ishin.
Yep.
Because
Because that's the first one we've seen that took away the Yakuza title.
Exactly.
Right.
Right. And they're basically that was the whole point. They're telling us that's what it's going to be going forward.
Yep.
Yakuza is no more.
Yep.
It is over. It's done. Because I think that also limits what they can do as far as storytelling. You know,
Yeah,
It's
I
like
see
it
what
kind of
you're
but
puts
if
it
they
in
do
holds you
like
in
a
one
dragon,
direction.
that could mean anything.
That can mean
Right,
anything, right? And so Yakuza was just an easy way to help American audiences or Western audiences understand what the game's kind of about.
Oh, yeah,
but it's really
totally.
not about that so much.
Yeah.
Like even like a dragon, like you were ex Yakuza, sure, and there was some Yakuza, sure, but at the same time, you're just some homeless dude running around. You know what I'm saying?
Nice.
Serve 18 years, man. You gotta play it.
It was
And
like,
then how about
you're just modern day Mugen.
that's like the most roll tide A ever. Every time I
Hell
see it,
Damn.
that's a roll tide ass A, man.
Now I'm never
Look,
going to be able
look,
to
man,
unsee
we
it.
don't talk,
I'm glad.
Look, we don't
that's
talk
all I
politics
see.
on this stream.
Right?
Yeah,
we're not a political channel. We're not a political
channel.
channel, but that's a real roll tide A, man.
Very real
Every
time.
time I see it, I'm just like I just it kind of takes me out of it a little bit. I'm just like, y'all could have picked anything else, and y'all said roll tide.
Bama's known, baby.
Man, that's right. It is known.
All right, Scott. Here's some Scott news.
Oh, this is me. Okay, so Crunchyroll has decided to recast the English voice of Mob from Mob Psycho 100 because he suggested that for them to do a third season that he would like them to sit down with SAG, which is a Screen Actors Guild,
Oh,
the union,
yeah, totally.
and just have a conversation about potentially allowing this production to be a SAG, like
Yeah.
you know, for the union, like benefits of the actors
Yeah.
to be a thing
Yeah.
that happens this third season.
Did they do that at all with?
As far as I know, Crunchyroll's been very wary of like hiring, like dealing with SAG stuff, which is like it's kind of shady.
I mean,
a
lot of companies are kind of
they're
kind of
anti-unions,
though,
yeah, they're kind of anti-union.
Oh,
but
yeah.
again,
Reasons
like
I
How we gonna
understand.
fuck
like,
on you if you're
on-
unionized?
but as far as like like film production
Yeah.
and like acting and stuff
They
like
have
that,
to
a
go through
lot
SAG.
of that stuff is you have to. I mean,
So are you
like,
talking
kinda
about
stuff.
the English or
Is-
Japanese voice actor?
this is the English actor.
That makes-
it's
yeah.
Kyle McCarley.
Okay.
Kyle McCarley. But he's actually been doing a bunch of different voices, but he's mostly well known for Mob. Yeah, every company
absolutely.
is anti-union.
Yeah.
I agree, but I mean, again, like with
Including our
film
government.
production of any kind,
politics.
it's a tricky little slope there. But so he didn't say if you don't make
wasn't trying
this
to strong arm him or
yeah, he
something.
wasn't trying to strong arm. He was just
Yeah.
like, hey, I'm a member of SAG, and I know a bunch of other people are a member of SAG, and I would just like moving forward with this series if we had the union involved,
Yeah.
for and I would like it if you guys just kind of talk to him about it and see what agreements we can come to. And they were just like, recast.
Right.
Immediately.
Kicked
Wow.
right
You
out.
He's got a video up on YouTube explaining stuff, and he's got a Twitter thread kind of
Yeah.
going into what SAG actually does for voice actors specifically.
I know a
God,
lot about
Yeah,
that.
and
Yeah.
stuff.
Yeah.
So he's not like being like everybody should boycott Mob Psycho 100.
He's just
know,
trying to
season
tell
3, he's
people
just
what
like, hey,
happened, huh?
look,
Right.
this
Yeah.
is what happened. You're probably gonna hear a different voice coming
yeah.
out of Mob, moving forward, and this is why.
No,
You
man,
know,
you're right.
so-
It's like all the shit that's been happening with Amazon.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean?
Mhm.
Yeah.
Amazon's been getting fucked on because they keep trying to bury their unionization and
Right.
all that shit. I
Yeah.
can't remember what that guy's name is, but it's the dude from like Detroit or something. That like he was just a regular ass worker, and he was basically he tried to get in contact with people over unionizing, and then they were like, yeah, so we're gonna fire you because you're doing all this, and then he started trying to find out who he could talk to and get local support, and he realized there was nobody, so he was
Right.
like, I'm gonna do it then,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
he's made a goddamn movement.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
dude.
That's why it's better to start the union without mentioning the union.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
The
You gotta
first
start
rule
it
of
in
Fight
secret.
Club is
Uh-huh.
don't talk about Fight Club.
That's right, and then
You
it
know
gets
what
so
I'm saying?
big that everybody's just
And
a part
then
of
it's
it.
like, okay, well, you're gonna fire all of us?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Didn't think so.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, all right, then that's how you
So
get power.
yeah, but like he was kind of and
but he seemed
kind
like he was trying to be nice about
he
it.
seemed like he
Right.
was trying to
Yeah.
kind of ease it in, but I mean Crunchyroll's
Yeah.
fucking Crunchyroll. I mean they're owned by Sony, so I mean like they're
Right.
gonna
Right.
crack down on that.
Uh-huh.
So I mean like not just him though. He kind of alluded to he didn't like he wasn't telling stories out of school or nothing, but he kind of alluded to that there might be other people in the cast that either get let go or just plain walk out
Probably,
because
of
of this
course.
situation. So we may
Yeah, hence
and,
the
and like
effect of a
big
union.
roles
Uh-huh.
and big roles in this show.
Right.
Like these aren't like
So this
little
might fuck up Mob
side
Psycho,
characters.
at least the English side
Well,
of it.
the dub. I mean,
The
it'd
dub,
be,
the
yeah.
dub. If you care about the dub, I mean,
Yeah.
but I think they do a really good job with the dub. I like both.
Yeah.
But it's
People
just,
just bitch about it on fucking Reddit and keep watching the show.
but I mean, so if you like Mob Psycho and you listen to you watch the dub version, you will more than likely hear a few new voices coming out of old faces. So
I got friends with old faces.
New voices coming out of old,
Old
faces.
faces.
That's a Modest Mouse song.
yeah, that's a T-shirt, sir.
Oh man.
Okay, so
Look forward to it's a Patreon reward.
Yes.
Support us on Patreon and we'll make a T-shirt that says "New voices coming out of old faces."
All right, so we got some trailers to check out. Not really a whole bunch of them this week.
Yeah.
No,
Yeah,
but
little
no, I
focus.
haven't
It was
seen
kind of full
these
screen
yet.
like we
I
did
haven't
last week.
either, and
Yeah.
so
We'll
I'm very
kinda
excited.
react to
Especially this
these.
first one, I'm really excited to see.
I've seen this. I've seen
All right,
all of
well,
them.
don't tell us what's gonna happen, Scott.
Look, let me
Scott,
tell
be
you.
like-
Look, shh. All right, let me spoil this shit.
No spoilers yet.
Oh God.
Let me spoil this trailer. But this looks really good. I'm stoked.
Uh-oh.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
That
There it
lament
It's really nice.
configuration.
You can hold it.
Oh, that's a weird one.
don't do
Yeah,
it.
that's a really weird one. I wonder if
What
it's
is
gonna
it?
snap back to the king.
It's a puzzle.
I think it's just most of the way done.
And it's almost finished.
Uh-oh.
Keep going.
Uh-oh.
He's just egging him on.
Um,
Egging him on.
Uh-oh. Stop it.
This isn't good,
Get a
man.
prize?
Yeah, you get a
I do.
prize
Uh-oh.
for all eternity.
Yeah. Well, and
I mean, this looked kind of good.
This
It's
does.
looking-
This does look good.
it's
Uh-huh.
Oh,
So it actually has
is
Clive Barker's
Clive?
name
Let's
associated with
go.
it. Like this
associated
is for
with
real.
it. Yeah, yeah.
He's
Well, and-
helping. He's
well, and
actually
look at some of the
Oh,
stuff.
don't put
that's
your
like-
finger in there. Don't.
Right.
Look at some of the, like the backgrounds and some of the designs of things. It's like it's going back to that movie 1, movie 2, where it's more Lovecraftian than actual hell.
Uh-huh.
You know what I mean? So yeah.
Yeah, because Hellraiser should be cosmic horror.
Absolutely.
It's time.
Let's go. I like that redesign.
Yeah. Yeah. I like the
And
new pinhead.
I like that we're focusing on the puzzle box so much.
Yeah.
Is this a series or a movie?
It said Netflix, Hulu series, really.
It did say series?
Yeah. Which I mean, I'm with that actually.
With that.
Oh,
Lady Pinhead.
Oh.
I'm with it.
Let me hear that voice. Oh,
No tears, please.
I'm here for it. Wait,
Hell yeah.
maybe it is a movie. It
I
said
don't
rated
know,
R.
But is this going to have to be on our list of stuff to talk about this?
Definitely.
Probably.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
no question. We're watching that.
I guess I gotta get Hulu now.
We are watching that. You should have Hulu anyway, man. I mean, really, I out of all the streaming services, I probably spend more time with Hulu than anything else.
Yeah.
Well, here's something that we probably aren't going to play, but it's some news.
Well, you know, the thing is, man, like Fortnite, love it or hate it, they do some really incredible things.
they fork the knife,
mechanically.
man.
I mean, seriously,
Yeah.
they fork that knife.
They
Not
do.
surprising given the sample's behavior.
So this is a
I've never
new
seen such
expansion for
accelerated psychokinesis. Whoa!
This boy's about to get out of the matrix.
Starting to think this may be a problem.
Uh-oh. He got all chromed up.
Dude, like I really love all of their events. You know, like I'll just watch
Yeah.
videos of them. You know, I don't really like playing the game so much, but I mean, they do some really creative stuff.
Yeah, like that Martin Luther King one.
But that was weird. Yeah, that was
That's
really
the
weird.
weirdest fucking
That was the weirdest thing. And now that they're using Unreal Engine 5, because you know they shifted everyone over to UE5, and now
Does that mean they don't support the older version, like the older consoles now?
I don't know what they did about that.
Right.
You know? I don't know what they did about it, but I mean, I'm sure they still do. Fortnite's too big.
And Unreal Engine 5 was supposed to be optimized all around.
Right.
You know what I mean?
So yeah, I think everyone just got switched over to that
Yeah.
engine, because this looks really good.
is this actually like in engine, all exactly the way the game looks?
It
'Cause
looks
this
like
looks
it
a little
is.
extra.
Well, I mean, yeah. Of course, it's all pre-rendered,
She's
but
doing
it's
some
probably still.
doing some Iron Man heads-up
It's
display
hard to
shit.
tell with UE5, man.
I know it is. Yeah. We can't
'Cause all of
fucking
that
tell
looks
anymore.
Like that would be an engine.
Yeah.
All right, so yeah, Chapter 3, Season 4 coming
Yeah.
out.
It looks like you get
That
Spider-Gwen.
looks great, except for then you got to play Fortnite.
Then you got to play
That's-
Fortnite. That's
yeah,
that's
it
the
changes.
big problem. Isn't
Yeah, it all
It's like,
changes.
oh man, it looks awesome. Wait,
You know?
Fortnite?
I mean, well, people love
Hey,
it,
man,
and
yeah,
I'm
yeah,
not
and
gonna
if you-
sit there and just
yeah.
like dog on it. It's not my shit, but
Yeah.
you know.
I'm hype about this. Suikoden 1 and 2 remake coming out on all platforms.
I haven't watched this trailer.
Yeah,
I
it's-
shared
it's-
it, but I didn't. Take
It's
the
all
time to watch it.
platforms. I know it's coming out on Switch. It'll be PS4.
It's
PS5.
probably gonna tell us in the trailer.
I'm sure.
It's probably gonna say it.
But nah, this looks good. I love Suikoden 2.
man.
I've never had a chance to play Suikoden 1. So
Yeah, I spent a lot of time with Suikoden 1. I love Suikoden 2.
2 is great.
It's very, very good.
Probably got the best little sister character of all time.
I do wonder how it's going to
Nanami.
sell. Because, I mean, unless you're, like, in your late 20s, 30s, you may not even know what this word means.
Yeah, well, I mean, I'm
God,
sure
that
it'll
is so perfect.
gonna look great.
That's so perfect.
Yeah, and look at that. Look at that overworld.
This is another title that I would imagine would perform very, very well on the Switch.
Absolutely. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah. That's what I was about to say. I think if for anybody who plays JRPGs and owns the Switch, this is a must-buy.
Yeah.
Like.
I still
Absolutely.
want Golden Sun.
Absolutely.
You know, like, I really think
Here you
it's
go. Here's the big
time
boy.
to give us a remaster
Hey,
or a
gold,
remake.
or new fucking
Golden
game.
Sun.
Yeah.
Right.
Or just a port. Shoot, dude.
I guess
port.
that's the thing. You just remaster 1 and 2 and then make 3.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's how you do it. Well, and I wouldn't
Oh,
be
this looks
surprised if
great.
the whole reason they're. Oh, I love it. Nanami. He's great. But I wouldn't be surprised if the reason they're doing this remaster is because Eodin Chronicles is getting ready to drop. Eodin Chronicles?
Oh, yeah.
The
Yeah.
spiritual
Yeah.
successor?
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
I
getting
think
ready to drop.
We're just in that era where everyone's looking back at, like, PlayStation era and being like, okay, what can we drag from then that will definitely.
Well, there's a market
it's
for it now.
monetizing
Yeah.
nostalgia, dude.
Exactly.
You know what
well,
I'm
there
saying?
mi-
It's like-
yeah, I'm about to say there's a market for it now.
Yeah, I mean, for real, like all of us who remember the PlayStation era games, it's like, and we all have those conversations, we remember them fondly.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, okay, well, don't you want to buy it again with modern graphics? And it's like,
yeah, kind of.
sure.
Don't you want to take it portably? Yes.
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 Leviosa.
Leviosa. Ronald Weasley. It's Leviosa.
Yeah. So the Breakers.
Oh yeah, we didn't talk about
Man,
that.
I was
thought
having
it was
a-
gonna come up earlier.
Yeah, you know.
Yeah,
I was having a
so
hard
we were
time
actually,
connecting.
well, we'll
Right,
work on that
guys.
again tonight.
We're gonna try it again tonight.
We'll try
Yeah,
again.
so
I
Dragon
like
Ball
this
The
game.
Breakers is in beta, open beta right now, so you can download the open beta if you want to play it, give it a shot. This is the trailer for Boo. God damn it. Okay, so
That's
in
gonna be
the-
some shenanigans.
Bruh! Dude, okay, so we already have Cell, we already have Frieza to contend with.
Cell will fuck
which,
you up.
yes, absolutely. But this is a real problem.
Oh yeah.
Boo?
Yeah.
Boo
Yeah.
is a real problem.
Oh,
Because he's just
seriously,
gonna
yeah.
turn everybody into candy.
Absolutely.
The whole
Hey,
world.
Alex, you should download this beta and jump on with us tonight if you are
for
free.
sure.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Hopefully, I'll be able to connect this time.
We'll work it out. Yeah.
Yeah.
We just didn't feel like fucking with it last night.
No,
Played
not
Duck
at
Game.
all. Well, we wanted to quack.
And,
we wanted to quack
and
on it.
there might be some quacking going on tonight. We'll
There's
see.
gonna be some quack.
There's gonna be some quack.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We
If y'all
gonna
don't
quack
know,
it.
if y'all don't know anything about Duck Game, look, get on it. It's on sale right now for $2.50.
And it
There's
is
no reason to not buy that
Well
game.
worth it.
Yeah, so Breakers is like this, asymmetric multiplayer, but like basically, your bad guy.
One
is,
person's the bad guy.
Yeah.
And you have 7 people who are the humans.
and it's very similar to like an Evolve. So the whole time the bad guy's leveling up and getting stronger.
Every time it kills somebody.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Boo's gonna be there on launch though.
Yeah.
Yeah. So but that's all we have right now is the 3. I don't
But
know.
that's all you need because each one has several different forms, right? So you get, Frieza goes through all of his different transformations
Yep.
before ending up at perfect Frieza. Cell has his 3 different transformations. Now this one's gonna be weird because Boo, the way he works,
It looks different.
is you have Majin Buu,
Yeah.
and then you have the second version of Boo, and then there's Majin Buu eats that second version. No, the second version eats Majin Buu
then
and
comes-
makes Kid Buu.
Yeah.
Right, and so I don't know how that's gonna play. There can't be 2 Boos.
What if they totally do it to you?
That would be
Split them up on you.
Right.
But they're not quite as strong.
I see.
Yeah.
Alex says Splatfest going on, so fuck Breakers.
I mean, dude, I would love to see that.
I feel you.
If you stream, let us know.
Hell
man. I
yeah,
wanna watch.
stream, man.
I'm with it. But yeah, Breakers it's very entertaining. They just have the worst tutorial known to mankind.
Yeah, dude, that tutorial sucks.
It was
and it doesn't
trash.
really teach you the
Yeah.
game either, because we
Yeah,
got
it's kinda
into a
hard.
match and
Nothing.
still didn't understand it.
Yeah.
So once we get in, like, at least we've played it a couple of times to where we get what's going on.
So we might be able to. Yeah.
We can give you a good starter there. Way better than the tutorial. Like,
Yeah.
God,
I
that
should make
thing
my
prepa-
own tutorial for Breakers.
Honestly,
Yeah.
that'd be a good video.
All the things the game doesn't tell you.
Everything.
All right, guys. Here's
Like a shamalama ding dong.
Yeah.
Okay, I haven't
here's
seen
our,
this. What is
here's
this?
our new
Knock
whipping boy.
It's Knock at the Cabin.
Knock at the cabin.
This
Uh-oh.
song might be a
Might
problem.
be a problem on
We
Twitch,
need
so
to
we're
keep
Oh my God, we're gonna keep the fucking.
saying
Oh
words
no, this is bad. Look at Tickle the Kid. Look at this. We're coming off the dock, and there's no way that you're gonna be able to hear this song. I'm just gonna keep saying things. I don't know.
It's still going.
Oh, it's Batista.
Bautista in the background.
Why doesn't that guy have a neck? She
Why
says.
the fuck?
Yeah.
That dude ain't
I
got
thought
no
everybody
neck,
had a
mama. While we at this cabin.
From M. Night Shyamalan.
No. Oh, it's the Babadook.
Oh no.
Babadook.
Look out.
My name's Leonard.
He has that Wu-Tang.
It's nice to meet you.
That's right.
And then the fuck with.
Why are you here?
I'm supposed to be here to
I
make
don't
friends with
know.
you. Your dad's too.
I love how Shyamalan has never really abandoned his trademark stilted fucking
what I have to
acting.
Oh,
Like,
totally. Yeah. That's one of his things. He's like, act poorly.
Yeah.
So this whole thing's kind of like with Smile or oh, we're doing the Strangers.
Kind
See, the
of.
four
Yeah.
of us have a very important job to do.
So why are you doing what is it? Why are you
It might
doing
be
this
the
to
most
us?
important job
Because you were home.
in the history of the world.
Yeah, so kind of a take on the home invasion kind of thing.
I love how no one's ever equipped for this kind of stuff.
Yeah.
If I'm in a cabin, I have a
Come on, man.
shotgun.
You got a
Believe
fucking
that.
shotgun. Is that Ed
united by a
Sheeran
common
over there?
vision.
Who's that?
Is it Ed Sheeran? Wait. Nah, he's not round enough for Ed.
I want
The
to
four
hear
of
it.
us are here to prevent the apocalypse.
Oh,
Oh no. Cultists.
Your family has been chosen to make a horrible decision.
I'm so sorry, but you drew the short straw.
Yeah.
If you fail to choose, the world will end.
No.
okay.
What's the twist? What's the twist?
All right, yeah, right. Here's my problem. Here's my problem. Cabin in the Woods already existed, right?
Yep.
And it literally did kind of the same thing, right? Like
The Cabin in the Woods was awesome because then
Yeah,
it got
it was
silly.
great. It
You
was
know?
phenomenal, but the way that it ended,
Right.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
the world was going to come
They
to
totally
an end.
ramped it all the way up in the right way.
That's
it
right.
started
It was
down
like-
here and it went all the way.
Right, so I wonder if this is going to have something to do with. I hope that it's connected in some way. I don't know. What's the twist?
Man, it's
What's the
it's
twist?
Shyamalan.
Are
If
they-
anything is gonna be fun to
You
You
run,
know what the
The
twist is
twist
going to
has
be?
to be that
It's
it's real.
actually a good
Yeah,
movie. That's going to be the twist.
that's
Wow.
You can be like,
Yeah.
holy shit, he made a
Right.
good movie.
What a twist!
What a fucking
he hasn't
twist.
done this since Sixth Sense, which honestly, if you go back and watch Sixth Sense, it's
It's rough now, isn't
rough.
it?
Yeah, it's real rough.
That movie still just scarred me.
I still love Unbreakable the most. You know?
Unbreakable's okay.
Unbreakable's
Yeah.
pretty awesome, dude.
Yeah. I didn't see Glass, but I did see what was the second one?
Split.
Split. Split was good.
Oh, okay.
I think Split's
enjoyed
pretty
Split.
good, yeah.
Yeah.
But Glass kind of mucks it up. They
Yeah.
kind of, yeah.
Yeah.
It's, I mean, you should still see it, but and they do
Yeah.
this really cool thing with color.
Right.
I love that part about the movie. There's a really cool thing with color. It's
Okay.
just like, yeah.
All right. All right.
Well,
Heard
last trailer, and this is gonna be hot. I can't
For
wait.
your favorite backwards sword man.
That's
That's
right.
right.
Rurouni Kenshin is getting the
And
Hunter
he
X
draws
Hunter.
his blade immediately. That's
Woo.
Well,
that's something.
he's not,
Uncharacterized.
but it's getting the Hunter X Hunter Brotherhood treatment. You know, like just a complete remake.
Oh, okay. Oh.
Yeah.
Oh.
Oh, okay. So this is early. is, man. If I draw
There's
this
your
sword,
boy.
man. If I draw it, I'm sorry.
Yeah, you're done.
You're done.
I mean, you're done regardless.
Right.
But yeah.
I mean, Kenshin's pretty much Musashi Miyamoto.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What was that? What was that music?
You know, I think this is great, especially in an era where Grappler Baki is such a big deal now.
Oh, yeah, Baki came back, dude.
Yeah, Baki made a big
Yeah.
comeback. You got JoJo's also making a huge comeback. I
Right.
think more people do need to know Kenshin.
Well, like I said, man, I mean, you got, like, these studios, a lot of these big studios with all these legacy IPs, I mean, they're making fucking bank on these, like, more manga-accurate remakes, you know? Because that's like a big thing. That's the whole reason that Brotherhood was so huge. That's why the new Hunter x Hunter was as big as it was, because it was sticking closer to the manga, you know, with like updated animation and stuff like that. And I mean, I think this is gonna be fucking awesome. I can't.
Yeah. Did we get a date? Oh my god, I can't
20
wait for 1,000 Year Blood War.
Yeah, 2023 next year.
Okay. Yeah, next year's gonna be huge. Just for media in general, it's gonna be
Absolutely.
huge. And if you guys want to stay abreast of all the current news, awesome trailers, make sure to like, sub, share, hit the ding ding with the bell icon, and stay current with your boys, because we will be talking about it.
Come back later for us ducking off, too.
Oh, we're going to duck off.
We're gonna duck
Yeah, yeah.
Somebody about to get quacked.
It's somebody getting quacked on. Not to say that we're going anywhere, because now we have our main topic of the evening. We are
boy.
discussing Mad God.
Mad God. Okay.
So,
Whose idea was this?
Right.
I think it was
yours?
a combination between. I think you.
This was definitely
I
my
wanna
idea.
blame
This
you.
was
Well,
definitely my
right.
idea.
well,
this is like
you
Crimes of the
showed me
Future,
the
and we go-
trailer,
Right.
and I was like, "Oh, we gotta talk about this."
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, I'd never
So-
seen a trailer.
Me and Neil have been hype about this for a minute though, because
Right.
we've been talking about this one for like I don't know, like a year or
Right.
something. When they first started leaking more information about it actually getting finished.
Yeah, I just knew that it
Right.
was what's his name? Tipper.
Phil Tippett.
Phil
Phil
Tippett.
Tippett.
Yeah, I knew Phil Tippett was involved, which by itself was dope.
Yeah.
You know, that was a
Legacy
lot.
right there.
Yeah,
You know?
yeah.
So this is a Shudder original,
It's a Shudder original.
mostly stop motion.
Right. That's
it's
why. That's why I
stop
was saying
motion
mixed
with
media
some-
because it's got so many weird things
It
going on.
does.
Yeah, it's
There's-
mostly stop motion, but with some live action
Right.
shoved in there
Yeah,
as well.
kind of
There's
looks
some
like a.
CG
Very
tweaks here
little.
and there.
It's mostly effects though.
Right, because
Somewhat.
that's the whole reason why it exists. Right?
Right, some live action, and it kind of feels like a how do
nightmare.
I say it? It feels like a nightmare.
Yeah. It uses like
exactly.
dream logic, like pretty much the whole way.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. It
yeah,
doesn't
it's-
really feel like there's. I mean, there's obviously
A path.
a path, but I
But
wouldn't
there's
say
not much
there's
of a story. There's
yeah.
not much of a story.
I think it's more of an interpretive piece.
Right.
Oh,
about-
This is a visual art piece.
Right,
Yeah.
but I think it's all about the creative process.
Yeah,
in
that
a
makes
modern
sense.
Right?
Okay.
This is going to be a weird one to talk about. So I think the only way to really begin this conversation is talking about Tippett himself.
Right.
And just who he is and what he's done, because a lot of people by his name, they may not know who he is. I mean,
Yeah.
if you're a cinemaphile, then you definitely do.
Yeah, but he's been doing visual effects for
like
when did he
since
start? In the
RoboCop, you know, we've
70s,
got
I guess?
it was Star Wars,
uh-huh.
even that
Yeah,
whole chessboard
I think
set that was
that might have been his first big thing.
Yes.
Was him doing the chess set from Star Wars.
yes,
yeah,
it
you know.
was. Uh-huh.
You
That
know?
was
I
that was
think
all
he was
him.
one of the guys that was brought in when they were originally trying to get the effects for the dinosaurs in Jurassic Park. They were just going to
Yeah.
use
They were
gonna use
stop
practical
motion.
effects,
They were going to
right.
use specifically
Stop
stop motion
motion.
for a lot of the wide shots before someone came in and
And
said,
Spielberg saw that skeleton of a T-Rex
Yeah,
and
it was
was like
just
a
like,
CG T-Rex.
hey,
He's like,
"Oh boy, we can do
and you know,
this."
and they, reportedly, he actually told Tippett, he's like, "You're out of a job."
Yeah.
And Tippett's
And
response
Tippett's
to
like-
him was, "Don't you mean extinct?" And he liked that comment so much that he put it in Jurassic Park.
Yep.
And so Tippett actually stayed on.
Yeah, well,
because
because
he
they
understood
made him-
more about like how animals moved, and so he stayed
Right.
on with that.
Well, they
team.
actually made him a rig to where he could kind of use his stop motion skills and like it would translate it to the CG. Like if you see,
Oh,
like,
he was the guy that was doing that puppeteering
he
style
was doing
thing.
a lot of
Oh, I didn't
and
realize
so,
that.
And he also, like, at this point, he had already started work on Mad God.
Uh-huh.
And so Mad God was already a passion project of
30
his.
years in the making.
Right. And so, but
and it looks it.
due to
does
that
in it, though.
shift, he did. He ended up, refocusing his entire team towards digital effects because that's where the future was going. Yeah. But he's always still loved like stop motion and practical effects.
It's funny you bring that up because, okay, so at the beginning of the movie, you see this little elevator thing descending, and you see all these little statues behind it.
Well,
Did you notice
the first thing? That you
Well,
see
no, I'm not
the
going.
Tower of Babel.
I'm not going chronological.
Okay,
I'm making a point here.
Okay.
In the background, did you guys notice the Ray Harryhausen Cyclops?
I was gonna say,
did you notice that not only the Ray Harryhausen Cyclops, there's the what is it? It's
Ed
Kali.
209's in there.
Ed 209 is there.
Really? What?
Yeah. And there's like I think there's some skeletons from.
I saw the skeletons.
Yeah, and
from Jason and the Argonauts.
Yeah,
right?
Kali from Adventures of Sinbad, a bunch of Ray
dude.
Harryhausen shit, dude. So I mean, like, this is almost just.
It's
in
a love
some
letter.
ways, it's a love letter to stop motion animation
That's
and the
right.
history of it.
Yeah,
it is.
And then there's a lot of that footage that is 30 years old. They didn't refilm anything. Okay, so just to close out this aspect, what ended up happening was a few years ago. Well, actually, over the past 20 years. Some of the interns, some of the, people that were working with him on digital effects actually ended up finding some of his old, sculptures and monsters and all the shit. And they're just like, what the fuck? And of course it was his passion project that he had to kind of can. And so they volunteered to help work with them to actually finish the project and make it a reality, and so there were a lot of people that would show up to help that had no experience at all. And so he would just find things for them to do in order to make this a reality. That whole scene where they had all those piles of bodies, that took them 3 fucking years.
I believe
because they had to melt all these figures together on a wire and then actually make those piles that was real. And so it took them 3 years to film just that scene. That was 10 minutes maybe.
God,
it's fucking crazy. There's a lot of effort that went into this.
And it shows. It very much shows.
Yeah, this is some of the smoothest stop motion.
To the point that sometimes you can't tell that you're really watching stop motion.
At some points now, again, some of this is live action, but some of that stop motion is
some of them are
clean
wearing
enough
puppet
that
suits.
Dude, all the live action stuff that was actually people just reminded me of Terry Gilliam too.
Yeah, totally.
Right.
So
Well,
there's a
and
bunch
the way,
of that all over
well, and the way another thing, like I was telling you, is this also seems like a tribute to a lot of the silent film era horror movies. There's Nosferatu in this. There's Cabinet of Dr. Caligari. There's a shit ton of Metropolis in this.
A lot of Metropolis.
Yeah. At one point while I was taking notes, I just started naming all the references that I picked up on. At one point, I was just like, "Hey, wait, is this a Girls Last Tour reference?" Which is an anime, which I don't think is
2001: Space Odyssey.
Yeah,
totally.
This is where the monoliths came from.
Right, dude.
Yeah, it's really interesting,
of the
man. And
monolith.
then he's looking at because he's the master of monsters, right? So
some of those are terrible,
dude. Some of them are crazy. You know what I'm saying? And even though this one isn't so terrible, I love that Plague Doctor Death.
Oh,
thing.
dude,
that
there's
motherfucker.
There's a boss
so,
from Bloodborne that looks exactly like that shit. It's the Margot's wet nurse.
Yes.
Yeah, dude. Oh,
dude,
my
I
God.
love when he
I
I love his
it.
hands, dude. The way
I
they
was
just
giving
come
me the
out.
baby.
Well, that and the wispy like tendrils coming off the
looks
jacket.
great.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
Just
I love when
Super
his
dope, dude.
Igor guy, what is it? They grind up the baby, and he just presents him with a big plate of glitter. It's like, here you go,
That
sir.
glitter was
Go
gorgeous.
be pretty.
and then he threw it in God's eye.
Absolutely. Yeah, that glitter was gorgeous, man.
Yeah, threw it in God's eyes and created the monolith.
But I think that's the whole thing.
fucking
It's
strangest.
somebody's baby, that's somebody's project. It's something that somebody really cares about, and then the studio grabs it, takes it away from them, and then
Turns it into
turns
bullshit.
it into bullshit and dust, waters it down, and then it becomes something else entirely. Which is why you have all those the people that are working following the orders of a baby's voice.
Oh,
you
yeah.
know,
Oh, totally.
that thing ain't saying shit.
And tell me
you
that
know?
doesn't give you those fucking Resident Evil
Resident Evil
Village
Village, absolutely.
flashbacks. Yeah.
Yeah, totally out the gate. But as a piece of cinema, it is very difficult to have just a straight line conversation
Right.
about
It's
this film.
this is a hard movie to recommend to people,
Right.
Unless you're really into the art side of things,
and
unless
if
you're really
you're desensitized as fuck.
because it is fucking weird. It is,
And it gets
it gets graphic. It gets oddly sexual, and I don't just
Yeah.
mean
But
like
it's not overtly sexual.
no, it's just
You
odd.
only have
You're
that
just-
one
you're going like-
scene
well,
where
there's
those three
the,
girls are jacking off the Minotaur.
the Minotaur. Well,
you know?
there's also the doll that's masturbating.
The doll,
Oh, yeah,
the
she's
and then
doll,
there's like the
yeah, she's just sitting there just to kind of
Yeah.
like
Diddling herself.
diddling herself.
and then there's
the
also
dude
just
ain't working.
there's
Open-
also just
yeah.
genitals all over the place.
Yeah.
But that's not
and
exactly
usually
you know,
like it's not like
deformed
kind of
genitals.
like how
It's not tittillating.
when
Like, let's just
there's
make
some
sure.
tits.
Yeah, there are tits,
but
it's not appealing.
like you look at something like Rick and Morty, right?
Yeah.
Like you'll have
Yeah.
things that look like sexual.
Right.
well,
Like
you know,
right. It's like
genitalia or
that.
whatever,
That's
but
like
it's
that
not
Geiger
that.
thing,
Honestly,
right?
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
But
Well,
in this, they are that. If
the
it looks like
connection-
giant pair of balls, that's what it is.
well,
and they
the
probably got
connection
warts
I
on
made
them
was
and-
the wall.
The wall,
Pink
yeah.
Floyd's
Oh,
The
yeah,
Wall.
Actually,
totally.
that you just
Yeah,
bring
yeah.
up a solid point because
Yeah.
this is the way I feel about Mad God. Mad God should have been the visual representation of an experimental album. Okay, if this had an album to go with it, then I think it would have been fucking flawless.
Oh, yeah.
like if you had just had, I don't even know
That's
what band.
how I made it through this movie.
You listen to some
last night
music?
you told me no. Last night you told me, calm down, Artigoff. Last night you told me
Save
you're
it
like,
for tonight, Robbie.
because I was tired, man, and you were like, "Don't watch it if you're sleepy." I'm like, "Well, I have
Yeah.
no other choice," you know. And so I'm like, "I'm
I
gonna
passed
have
out on
a
this
couple
movie
beers.
3 times, dude.
Right, I made it
You
through
know?
it, but what I had to do at one point, about like 30, 45 minutes in, I got up, walked around, and I sat down and I grabbed my bass. And so I just started strumming around, whatever was
Because
happening.
there's music going on, but
Uh-huh.
it's very minimal.
Yes.
Sometimes it's moody in just the right way. Like I
Right.
like it. They'll hit a thing, and you're like,
Uh-huh.
"Oh, dude, they get it."
I
But
think
it-
it's more
sparse.
the sounds.
Right.
Well, I think it's
Oh,
more
the
the sound
Foley
design.
is
the
so
Foley is
good, dude.
great.
Uh-huh.
And disgusting and disturbing, like the
Right.
whole time. I kept like turning it down because I'm like, man, I don't want anybody in my house to hear
it
what
just
I'm
sounds
yeah,
like
just hear this. This
it
is
sounds like I'm
mad.
making a snuff film down
Yeah,
here. Yeah.
right. You know,
Like-
and then a lot of babies. If you,
Lot-
I
yeah.
mean, really a lot of creepy
And them
babies. And I think
jittery
the
ass
only-
doctors just slopping through shit.
Oh, dude, he
just-
starts just pulling all of
he's
his
just
organs
shaking
out and
the
throwing it
fucking-
on the ground and
Dude,
shit.
they're
It's
not
like,
actual organs. It's just like coins and jewelry.
well,
and
yeah,
shit,
it's,
and, like,
it's all of
and then
his
eventually starts
value as a
pulling-
creator.
that's-
It's
yeah.
all of his
man,
value as a
yeah.
creator,
Yeah.
man. He's just like digging it out of him, ripping it out. Ends up boring into his brain. You know what I'm saying? To finally shut him down. And so
It's
there's.
just, all those hair people.
Yeah,
They're
yeah.
just
You know, at one point they just get steamrolled.
Uh-huh.
You know,
Yeah.
like it's
Yep.
just fucking weird, man.
they hit the Tiananmen Square thing on them.
Uh huh. Yeah.
yeah,
man.
it's
And
man.
especially like because you have the first character, the assassin,
Uh-huh.
who's descending down there, and you know you kind of want to root for him because he's
Right,
just
he's
seeing
very
all
New
these
Vegas.
horrors.
Yeah.
Yeah, like the deeper he goes down, the
Well,
worse
he's the only
shit
person
gets,
at
you
this
know?
point that doesn't look like an abomination.
Right.
So you automatically have like
Well,
sympathy
he's,
for
But
him.
you don't
well,
know where
he's
he
the
comes
human.
from.
He's
You
the
know
human
who
that
he
went
is.
down into.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
He went into the elevator.
Oh, yeah.
And then we go made an abyss. We go straight to the bottom of the fucking abyss. And here's
yeah.
what's down there. It ain't good.
No.
And then, of course, you can go further down. So he has his map. He's going down. His map is just crumbling to pieces.
Yeah,
Every
it
time he
keeps
opens it
falling
up,
apart,
it
yeah.
keeps falling apart more and more and more. So that just shows, hey, you better get where you're going because soon you're not going to know how to get there.
Right.
And so he does. Just keeps going further and further and witnessing all these horrors. He's carrying a briefcase with him. He gets down to the bottom and he sees mountains of briefcases. They're everywhere. And at this point, they open up the briefcase and they show us that it's a whole bunch of dynamite. And I'm like, oh shit, we're gonna have a chain reaction explosion. And so he does. He sets the timer on the dynamite suitcase, and yep, it gets stuck
just
on the last
repeats
second.
over- dude,
it gets stuck, and then he gets taken in. You know, he gets captured, and well,
I liked that
it doesn't
line,
go
man. I
well.
liked that
Yeah.
a lot. Yeah.
Yeah. It's just like many have come before to do this exact same thing
Mm-hmm.
and just, I guess, try to destroy this place, you know, or I guess is once again, it's just a metaphor for destroying the structure that is like Hollywood style filmmaking. And,
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
just basically breaking free of the mold of, okay, we have to rinse
Mm-hmm.
and repeat the same thing over and over for success, which equates to money.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's like you need to tear all that structure down and tell stories in a different way, create things in a different way. But
So
it
the
doesn't
easy way
actually
to
work.
put that is this is an art house film.
Yeah, right.
Yeah,
Exactly.
it is
Yeah.
an art house.
If you need
Absolutely.
a movie to tell you what to think or what it's about,
Yeah,
not
No,
for you.
not for you, not for you at all.
Yeah.
No,
this
I think-
movie wants you to interpret it.
Yeah.
You know, and it's
I
not
don't
gonna
know.
hold
I
your
think
hand with
I
it.
think maybe
It just wants you
even
to
wants
experience it, man.
Yeah.
It just
I
wants you
think
to
it
be
just-
there.
Right.
yeah,
right.
yeah.
Witness this shit. That's
Exactly.
what it's doing to
Right,
you,
because
know?
I mean, I think a lot of people wouldn't be
Witness
able
me.
to.
Yeah, it's like
Yeah.
performance art, dude.
Right, I don't think
It's-
they'd be able to digest the whole picture in its entirety
And who-
in order to
does-
create a meaning.
Do you think he expects that with this movie?
No, well,
I
I
don't think
think
so
he
either.
wants
I
you to
think
take what-
exactly
you,
Right.
like
what
a
you
real
get
piece
out
of
it.
art,
Yeah.
right? Like
And I think it's also created for future filmmakers.
That-
You know what I'm
yeah,
saying? For
uh-huh.
those people who
Look what you
do,
can do.
right?
Yeah.
Who do watch
Look,
this and then
man,
they're like, "Oh man."
I wonder what
feel
Phil
inspired
thinks of
in
that guy
direction.
that has the Street Fighter characters beating up the Red Bull can.
Oh God, right?
You know what I'm
oh
saying?
man, they crush.
Dude,
It's
that
so
Sakura
good.
one.
Yes. Oh my, I
You're
love
like-
it so much. I'm a huge fan of stop motion animation.
Oh,
man.
yeah,
Like, you
same
know,
I've always
um,
wanted to do it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. That's very time consuming.
Man, I remember I used to have this little toy RCA camera that you just plug directly into the VCR,
Mm-hmm.
like way back in the day, and I would make my own, like with my toys, like stop motion films. and shit.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
Oh,
Fuck
that's
yeah.
awesome,
Yeah.
Yeah. You
It's-
know.
they weren't good, but
but you made them.
But I mean, I'd move an arm,
Yeah.
move it right back. It was like, hey guys, look at this. You know, I
Right.
can make motions.
And that's the thing, man. Just finding people that have that sheer level of patience. is,
Right, yeah.
In a modern sense, it's very difficult to
well,
come
there's
by.
well, there's an
You know, most
aesthetic
people-
of like stop motion like filmmaking that just isn't there in a lot of other.
Also,
types
I
of
think some
animation.
people are off put by it.
Yeah.
Yeah, well,
Well,
yeah.
I mean, the
You know?
motion itself is a little jarring and
Yeah.
it's nauseating and it's creepy.
It's creepy.
You know, it's
Yeah.
really, really creepy.
Unsettling. Yeah.
mhm.
You know, this movie to me, if you're having a Halloween party,
Throw it on.
slap this shit on in the background on loop. You know
Uh-huh.
what I mean?
Yeah.
This is a wonderful thing to have on.
Especially if you have like a projector.
Oh yeah,
Oh, yeah.
yeah.
Put it
Just
on a
let
whole-ass wall.
people like as they're drinking stop by and go
The fuck? Because it doesn't matter at what
man,
point
what's
they
going
stop
on?
to look at it.
Something
the
crazy.
response is gonna be
Yeah.
the fuck.
It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter at all what's
Right.
happening. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but the design is superb. The execution is fucking amazing. The
Yes.
like
It's a Tool video on fucking coke.
And that I guess that
That
is the other
Brothers
side
Quay
of
shit,
it.
yeah.
The other
Yeah.
side of it is like if you're into hallucinogens, this is one for you.
I
Oh,
don't know.
dude.
You know what
I
I'm
don't
saying?
That
Right?
sounds awful.
I don't know. I was sitting there watching the
awful.
you don't go down the same hallways
It's like-
I do,
it's
Scott.
all-
I don't
exact-
think you
right,
do.
No, not at
exactly.
all.
It's like the wall. Like Pink Floyd's The Wall. I feel is the same way. It's designed
Right.
for you to eat some LSD and then
Right.
watch that motherfucking movie.
It
Eat some
was
mescaline.
it was designed for that.
Right,
and
you know what I'm
get
saying? That's
broke.
just the truth, you know. And so this is one of those that's like, okay, if you're into that kind of stuff, man, like this is one that you might get some different meaning out of it altogether and be like, oh, this all made sense. The baby was actually saying words,
Yeah.
you know.
This
like
was
every-
Cinderella. Did you
for
guys not
real?
see
Did
that?
not see the same.
This
was
it's
just
just
like-
Cinderella.
You know, you're like, I'm just missing this one chemical
Right.
that's keeping all this from making
From making any
sense.
sense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Uh-huh,
It's
for
whatever
real.
Phil Tippett's been on for 30 years.
Exactly.
Let's call him. Find out.
What have you?
He's like,
been
oh, I
on?
mix this shit up
Can
myself.
you- yeah.
That's gonna last for about
Ever.
forever.
Hell no, boy. Pee in them jugs.
You know.
Yeah, I don't know. I
Pine cone
really
liquors.
pine cone liquor, possum peckers. This movie is awesome, but just know what you're getting into.
Right,
That's
yeah.
the way I feel about it.
Or go in blind. I
I think
think
going in
I'm kind
blind-
of thankful that
Freak
I went
out
in
your
blind.
friends.
You know, right,
Fun at
right.
once.
Yeah, I mean, it might be, but I think that I'm really happy that I didn't know, because the more that I did know, the more I was kind of like, I don't really want to watch this movie because it sounds like a lot.
Well,
You know,
I
for an
was
hour and
I was
20
not
minutes
trying to
of
ruin
whatever.
something for you.
Nuh-uh.
I was just
Well, the first
warning
thing you said, you were like, "Hey, it's I don't know how we're gonna talk about it." That's what you said at first, and so I'm like,
but you get what
okay,
I'm saying,
I get it
though.
now, of course, of
Yeah.
course. But in like as a person who doesn't know anything, it's just like, okay, that's a strike, and then it's just like, okay, well, there's it took me 3 tries to watch it.
Yeah.
That's a strike, right? All of a sudden, I'm just like, I don't want to do that. I'm sleepy, man.
I kept
I've been
trying
at
to
work
watch
all
it when I was
night,
sleepy,
and then I'm
yeah.
just like, this is not working. And so then you were like, there's no dialogue, because that's a very, very important
Yeah,
aspect of
no
this movie.
dialogue.
There's one part
You-
where there's some dialogue in Italian.
Yeah.
There's one part.
There's a couple parts where you get a little bit of dialogue,
gibberish.
but not much.
Yeah,
Exactly.
but
That's
it's
really
real
more of
low
what
in
it
the
is.
mix.
Yeah. And so all these things led to like, man. And so I pressed play. However, Once you press play,
then you're like,
Oh, you're in it.
shit! I see what we're doing.
Right.
Yeah. Once you get that Tower of Babel,
I
and then
almost
that,
think that part of the reason that I was sleepy from it is because there were so many things happening that
yeah.
it was like overstimulating
It
my
can-
brain.
yeah.
Like I was just going like,
and the movie, I feel like there are points that carry on a bit longer. Now, this is by design.
it's definitely because they want to mood you up.
Right, exactly.
I love that
The whole-
crossroads scene.
Right.
You know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like the thing with the clock.
Yes.
How the seconds would start ticking at different times.
Ooh.
Well,
And then
where
eventually I'm like,
they get
God damn it.
longer
And
and
it went on-
longer, dude.
Yeah.
Because the dude is literally, that's all he's seeing.
Uh-huh.
So he's feeling
Watch pot never
every
boils.
nanosecond.
Yes.
You know?
Uh-huh.
Like,
Right.
Yeah. It was a lot, man. And so
This is an experience.
But there were points
Yeah.
where I'm just
Yeah, it's
like,
not a
okay,
movie,
roll
it's an
credits.
experience.
I'm like, please roll credits. And
Yeah.
then they kind of mislead you like
They
twice.
do. They
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
do.
Like, okay, the movie's over.
It's like Return of the
not.
King.
Yes.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
They're like,
It keeps
okay, we
on
wrap
coming
up.
back.
Things like
Wait.
5 times.
Oh yeah, we forgot.
There's more.
Yeah. And so, but all of that being stated, I'm glad that I watched it.
Yeah, me
Yeah.
too.
Yeah.
Good time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, not a it's a
I
good
mean,
experience.
I thought it was a
right.
good
from,
time.
From a
For me,
technical
yeah.
standpoint,
Oh,
if
it's
nothing
wonderful.
else,
Yeah.
from a technical standpoint, from an art direction standpoint, it's fucking phenomenal.
It's
Oh,
genius level
you know,
shit.
Yeah, like really, and so and it's like it's hard to,
Yeah.
of course, separate that from having these 4 hair people with in an electric chair getting zapped and shitting into a giant creature's mouth.
Yeah, like
Or that
Yeah.
that one little that like really big like T-Rex mutant creature thing
human teeth?
with the big old balls,
Uh-huh.
right? That had nipples on the balls.
Yes.
And then that
That
weird
thing came and put its head in his asshole
First it
and-
fondled its nipples, and then
Yes.
it put its head in his asshole, and
And
then
it got shat upon.
right.
Yeah.
And you're going, what the fuck?
Why?
yeah. Well, and when you're describing it to somebody else, they're like, "Oh, why would I
Why would
wanna
you watch this
that?"
movie?
Yeah,
but it's mesmerizing.
We are
The
literally
whole-
doing that to all of
Right.
you.
Yeah,
So
right.
sorry.
Yeah, we're sorry. We're assaulting you right now.
Oh
Yeah.
man. Yeah. Oh yeah, dude.
What up?
It's special, man.
That
I
bad
mean,
God link, yeah, dude.
I
for
mean,
real.
really, it is
uh,
one of those movies that
it
you
is
don't really
worth
come
a
back
watch.
from.
Yeah.
It
You'll
is
remember this.
Not for your children
No.
in any way, shape, or form. And I'm talking about not one scene.
Yeah.
Not at all.
Not
No,
one.
Not in. You could cover. You'd have to cover their eyes the whole time. You might as well just send
Just
them
kick them out.
Yeah. Just
Nah,
kick 'em
dude.
out. Yeah.
Go away.
And then they could be in another room. They're gonna hear that baby crying. Not
yeah.
good. It's not good. Yeah. But it's a piece of
Well
work.
worth your time.
It's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah. And also at an hour 20, I don't think it lingers too long, even though
No.
it does do the trick on the end for you. A couple
Right,
times.
but this isn't one of those movies that you want to be like,
Yeah.
I'm gonna have a couple beers and watch this shit.
Oh, yeah.
That's what I did. But I think it is one of those movies that's better served for earlier in the night.
Yep.
You
Yeah.
know, like when.
Well, I mean, I watched it this morning.
Yeah.
Right, I watched it
Yeah,
I
so-
started it after we got off of a
Duck
duck game.
game.
So it was already almost like 2,
At
almost.
least,
Yeah, it was-
yeah.
yeah.
Yeah,
it was rolling
and
up
so-
on 3. That's
right,
why I had
it was
to
getting
dip
late.
out. I was
yeah,
like,
man,
guys,
and
I'm falling
so
asleep.
I'm like, I gotta watch this movie, and boy, like it felt like a bit of a struggle. Now there were certain points where I'm like, just like, okay, well, I don't know what this is all adding up to, but it looks dope, you
Yeah.
know. But I'm also just super desensitized, right?
Right.
Like
Right.
it's hard to shock me
Because these
you
are
know?
horrors
Yes,
the
yes.
whole time.
Yeah, so for a lot of people, it's gonna be too much. For a lot of people, you know. For me, I'm just like, okay, all right, that's gross, I guess.
Whoa, he's got a sequel in mind?
Oh.
They said there were supposed to be 3.
Fuck.
Hell yeah. Well, come back in another 30 years.
I don't know, man. I don't know. I'll watch Terrifier.
Right.
Terrifier was much more of a cohesive and tame experience
Ooh, yeah.
by comparison.
Fucking Terrifier.
Oh, we got Terrifier 2 right
We
around the
do,
corner,
we
baby.
do.
Yeah.
And it's gonna be at local theaters, so we can go check it out.
Absolutely.
Yeah, we'll have to work that out
Uh-huh.
as far as scheduling.
That'll be
yeah.
easy peasy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What are we doing for first week of Spoopy month?
Is that
Spoopy
next
month's
week?
coming up.
Spoopy month is next week.
Uh-huh.
We'll have to talk about that, but
right.
we're also talking
I mean,
about
I'd like
potentially
to-
doing it.
Did y'all know there's a
doing the
Hocus
show.
Pocus 2?
3, right?
No,
Two.
There wasn't. There
I
hasn't.
guess
been
there
a
wasn't a 2.
Yeah, there wasn't a 2.
I don't know why it just seems like Hocus Pocus.
Because it's old as
2
fuck.
sounds right.
Yeah.
I think we should do like X and Pearl.
Oh, first?
Mm-hmm.
So it would
Or-
still
or
be
not-
going,
not-
it'd still
not-
be going to the theater.
Well, yeah, to see Pearl, but
Okay.
X we could probably find, but maybe not for the first week. We don't have to do it first since it's 2
Scream
movies.
5.
He's been talking about
He's
that
been
for a
talking
minute.
about it,
Hey,
yeah.
I mean, I
Maybe.
believe him.
Yeah.
It probably is great. But I think that we could condense those 2 movies into one episode. You
X
know
and
what I'm
Pearl?
saying? Instead
Okay.
of just like doing an X and then doing a Pearl.
We could
Well, we
talk
did
about
that
it.
with
We can
Halloween
figure it. Yeah.
Right.
last year.
Yeah.
There's also the third of those movies coming out. you know?
Right.
All
yeah.
of these spoopy movies.
Yeah.
That's
yeah.
still,
Yeah.
and it
When's
still has
Monsters?
a bad name.
Is Monsters Halloween?
I don't know.
Knowing Rob Zombie, it's probably Halloween.
On Halloween.
Yeah.
Yeah, that day. Yeah, I don't know.
But
Yeah. We'll figure it out. We'll get that information to all of you guys.
Yeah.
But
Yeah. But it's about to get
again,
spoopy around here.
thank you so much
Thank you.
for hanging out, for being in the chat. Please like, share, subscribe, follow if you have not already. And you
Fuck
can
Midnight
check.
Mass.
You
Trash.
Can, hold on. Trey, you are at GraeSacle
Capital
on
G,
YouTube.
capital S
and,
on YouTube. Power of
And-
Grayscale on Twitch.
And Phil, you are Lentarg everywhere.
Everywhere.
I am
Not to be
LazerPunch
concerned
on
with
Twitch.
confusing
I
Lentarg
am
everywhere.
LazerPunch
That's a different guy.
86 on. Sorry guys, I'm trying to.
You don't know your own shit?
We
What you
like
doing,
fucking it
dog?
up. for him, too.
I like to fuck up. LazerPunch 86 on Twitch, and we are streaming and putting up content a lot more often now. Come back later tonight because we're gonna quack on some folks.
Yeah,
we're
we're
probably
gonna
gonna
fight.
throw.
Yeah.
We're
Why
probably
don't
gonna
you
throw on
come
breakers.
fights with some duck game? I think
That's
it's
right.
$250. You can come.
Yeah, $250 buy Duck
yeah.
Game. Everybody watching this
Try to
buy
come
Duck
quack
Game.
on
It's
us.
hype.
Come
It's
quack
super
on
hype.
'em. You can check us out on YouTube, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Amazon Music, Stitcher, and everywhere else you like to listen to podcasts.
That's right.
Come back next week. We do this live every Saturday on Twitch.
Yeah.
One more thank you for joining us on this weird-ass journey today, and goodbye.
Also, come back Monday for House of the Dragon stream.
Absolutely.
too.
Peace.
Yes.
Bye.